Hello and welcome to the Super Basement Bro Show. My name is Connor and I'm joined by my co-hosts Tanner, Parker, and Hasten. Today we're going to be talking about 2024. It's a new year for video games and there's going to be many new releases, perhaps some new consoles coming out, i.e. Nintendo. But we also are going to talk about our hopes and anticipations for this year, what we kind of hope will be revealed, what will come out. We're just going to kind of talk about 2024 as a whole. So if we want to go ahead and jump in with the big one, I kind of want to talk about Nintendo first, right off the bat. What are you guys' kind of thoughts on Nintendo this year? There's supposed to be a new console, perhaps a Switch 2. What are you guys looking forward to with Nintendo?
I'm super excited for Nintendo. I'm hoping they have. I'm honestly wanting a Switch, obviously. It's gonna be. I honestly, I think it's gonna launch with at least two ginormous games, which will be, what are they called? Mario Kart 9. I think is gonna come out this year. I think it's.
Okay.
I think they've been working on it, and I
think
think Mario Odyssey 2 is coming out this year. I think those are the two big ones. I do think that they're going to be separated, though. I think one's going to launch with the console, and one's going to come out a couple months later.
I think that's a pretty fair idea. I kind of want to go through, and we can kind of go through one at a time, going back and forth on this. There's a series of questions regarding the Switch 2 that I'm curious what you guys all think. Starting off with just the basic. Let's start off with, what do we all think the Switch 2 is going to be called? What's the name? We can kind of go round robin style. Tanner, what do you think?
I actually didn't put a name. Probably just Switch 2.
You think they're legit?
I don't know if it'll have
Switch
it.
2?
Just Switch 2.
I mean, potentially.
I think
Honestly,
they'll
they
go
learn.
with the Switch U.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
The Switch Super. Super Switch.
That'd be ballsy of Nintendo to do that.
I mean, that would be a huge mistake.
I think they learned from the Wii U that they can't do Switch something because people will think it's an add-on.
Yeah.
So I bet it'll be called Switch 2, so people know it's a new console.
I could see that.
Unless they call it something completely different, which I doubt. Because it sounds like it's a direct sequel to the Switch.
Yeah, there's part of me. So the boring answer for me is I think it will just be called the Switch 2. Now, the thing that would be crazy about this, though, is Nintendo has never once in their history done a 2 for their console. They've never done just like Game Boy 2, DS 2, N64 2. They've never.
And the
done
closest they
like
got
that.
was Super.
Yeah, Super is the closest.
NES.
That's why you actually just led me into my point. My guess is the Super Switch.
Super Switch.
That's what I literally said.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's your guess too, or
Did you?
That'd be
Yeah.
sick.
So part of my predictions is that
I don't think it's
Joy-Cons are
going to
going
be
to be
Switch
gone.
2, but
I
gonna
also
be
said
cool.
that.
Joy-Cons are going to be
Joy-Cons will not be
gone,
on.
so they're not going to
Wait.
have the whole I don't think they're going to have the whole Switch thing.
Yeah, like
You know what I mean? I think it'll be like you could put it on your thing still, but you can't. I think the controllers are going to be attached to the screen.
So do you
Kind of
think,
like a Steam Deck type thing.
Do you think it's going to be a brand new name altogether? Do you think they're just going to drop the Switch name?
I do, but I don't. Well, gosh, I don't know.
I think the
has
Switch
been-
had
too
nothing
big of a
to-
name.
I will say, I don't think Switch had mainly to do with the Joy-Cons. It was more that you could switch from portable to...
True, you can
gone.
switch your play styles. Yeah.
And so I think that
So-
portability will stay. I don't think that will go away. Nintendo dominates in the portable space.
If
They're not
they
going
got
to get rid of
of portability, I think that would be insane.
it. It'd fail
There's no
instantly.
way. There's no way. They're the
Instantly,
only ones
I
that are
mean-
doing it successfully.
Yeah.
It would become another Wii U end-of-life Wii scenario, where at the end of the Wii's life, it wasn't like it was when it launched, because it was the worst of the home consoles. Play on. And that's what the Switch 2 will be if it launches, and they're like, 4K, we have some AAA games, but...
None of the big publishers come to us
None of the
until
big ones.
4 or 5 years later. So
Apparently, we're getting Call of Duty now, but that's about it.
remember Call of Duty on the Wii?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, and like how
and the
Phil
DS.
Spencer said they
I
were
had
coming.
I think
DS,
I had
yeah,
Call of Duty
the
Modern
DS.
Warfare on the freaking DS, and it's horrible.
I kind of want to get those just for the sake of trying them out and seeing them again
You
because
don't want to do it.
like it'd be kind of a cool collector's item of like I have Call of Duty MW3 on the
Mhm.
DS.
I wonder if you aim with
Could
the
you
one
imagine?
from the Wii.
You do.
I'm
I think
sure.
that's part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That
Well,
would
no,
be
I think
horrible.
I think what you do is you hold the because I think they had the
gun
nunchucks,
attachment.
like the nunchucks. You could hold the nunchuck out like a gun and hold it like this. So you like
That'd be
hold
horrible.
each.
well,
That's the
shout
worst
out-
way to play. Imagine
I
max
could be.
prestige.
I could have made that
on the Wii.
completely up. But
No, I think you're right because shout out to one of my favorite YouTubers, Scott
Shout out.
Oz. Yeah, shout out. It's
Oh,
back.
hey,
Shout out.
He made a whole video on like third-party games that came to the Wii, and I think he talked about Call of Duty and how there was Black Ops, MW3 came to the Wii, and he was showing like gameplay of it, and yeah, it's straight up like you use the pointer to aim and stuff, and apparently it's kind of cool. They're cool things to own because they're one of a kind. Where it's like the only way to play Call of Duty with motion controls is through Wii. I know that's like a goofy thing. But it's not like you could ever do that if you played it on Xbox or PlayStation. The only way if you ever wanted to experience Call of Duty with motion controls is through the Wii, which is so strange.
Yeah.
yeah.
But so just going around one more time, I just want to hear what everyone's official prediction is for the name. Mine is the Super Switch. Tanner, what's yours?
Switch 2. I mean, now it's Super Switch, but that was my original prediction. Switch 2.
2. Okay, Parker.
I want it to be called Super Switch, but I think it's going to be the Switch 2.
What about you, Hazen?
I have no idea. Like, if it's not Switch 2, I have no idea what they'll go to because you can never guess with Nintendo or Xbox. Honestly,
Part of me kind of agrees with you on that. Like, part of me thinks that they're just gonna
They
shock
always just do
everyone,
something
and it's gonna
random.
be called like the frickin' Go.
Switch
something.
Go,
Ultimate Switch.
Not even Switch.
and it's
Yeah,
gonna
Switch
be
Go.
Literally no Switch.
gonna
It's maybe
be
just called Go.
Just go.
480p, and they're
Nintendo
like, it's
Go.
launching with the next Zelda right now.
Yeah.
It's like what?
They're like, yeah, we got a 480p new console launching. It's called the Go, and it's literally it only plays Pokemon Go.
It runs off of one battery for 6 years.
It's a phone.
It's a phone, the Nintendo phone.
Yeah.
That would be the worst. We're like all waiting for a new console, and they come out and they bring Reggie back, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is gonna be crazy!" And they're like, "The Nintendo Android."
And you
And it's
just get a, you just get a,
Has Mario Run installed.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it,
that's what I was gonna say. Is
pre-installed.
it has like all the Nintendo mobile games installed on it, pre-installed.
They're like, "Is there any new stuff?" No.
No.
Well, we're kind of
We're
already-
adding-
Joy-Con compatible.
Adding a character to Mario
Yes, we need
Kart
some
mobile.
more- yeah.
His name, it's the Android guy, the Android robot.
Oh,
we're
I'd
kind of
kill
already
myself.
talking about it. But what's your guys' prediction for what's new? What makes the Switch 2 different than the Switch? Like, why would they sell a new console? What's the selling point?
Actually, don't think there will be. I think it'll be more of like the Wii U scenario where they weren't trying to innovate. Yeah, they had the game pad, but that wasn't what they were focusing on. It was more supposed to be like a more powerful Wii. I think Nintendo's going to do just a more powerful console. They know that they don't really need that innovation because they already have the most innovative thing, which is portability. You know? I mean, look at the GameCube. Yeah, the GameCube was their first disc console, but it didn't innovate in any way. Like, it wasn't like, didn't have a cool feature where they're like, it's a
Yeah.
cube.
I
They had that handle so you could take it on the go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say the same thing.
That's
Yeah.
the one thing they had.
Yeah.
My thoughts are gonna be. So I already said Joy Cons will be gone. So I think it's gonna be a set console that you could.
I
grab
agree
and
with
go.
that. I think that
And
Joy-Cons
then
are gone.
I think you're gonna have to buy a third-party controller, like a pro controller, if you don't
Yeah.
have one already. And
Me too.
then
Honestly, we can only.
I mean, it'll come with one, I hope.
because Joy-Cons
Maybe.
need to go. They need to go.
They gotta go.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm actually fine
Nintendo
if
even knows
if
it.
Joy-Cons stay. They just can't be the Joy-Cons that they are. They have to be updated somehow. You know, because
Yeah.
I could see them doing Joy-Cons, but
they probably want to get
Uh,
away from Joy-Cons just because of how much it costs them to fix Joy-Cons and do that whole. Because
And-
like,
and
didn't they
all
get
the
sued and they
law-
have to like
yeah,
constantly
lawsuits.
refurbish them, like
Yeah.
fix them.
yeah.
Well, I mean, think about
So-
this too. If they made new controllers, they could sell more controllers again that people would have to get for Switch too, and then people wouldn't be.
Maybe
able to
that's
use
why they'll stick
Joy-Cons.
with Joy-Cons though, is because it's a cash cow. They're
That's
just
the thing,
making
too. That's
bank
part
on
of the
people
reason
buying
why I think that
Joy-Cons.
they will stick with it. Like, Nintendo is the weirdest company, and we all know this because they could just straight up be like, "Hey, Switch 2 coming out this fall. Nothing's changed. It's literally just like the exact same
Just
thing with
1080p.
Joy-Cons. It's just now 1080p on the screen. That's it.
And portable.
And port. Yeah. It's like for all we know, that's literally all that could be different. And I wouldn't be shocked if that was the case. But
I would be happy.
Well, you'd be happy with
I mean,
that?
as long
I'd
as
be
there was a
happy.
new game. If there wasn't, I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, that's true. That's the thing with
Instant not
Nintendo
buy
is
it.
like no one cares if the Switch 2 is 1080p if it launches with Mario
Nothing.
Odyssey 2
Yeah.
or Mario
yeah,
Kart 9.
true.
No one's gonna give a crap because they're gonna be like, "Holy crap, I can play Mario Kart 9. I've been
Yeah.
waiting for
Mhm.
this for 6 years."
I will say
Yeah.
my prediction and what I hope for, what I want is that it is 4K. But specifically, I get if they can't do
The
4K handheld.
portable screen.
If they can't do 4K portable, then at least 4K docked. What I want is there.
I think
to
it'll be 4K docked, no question.
I hope so. If they
It's
don't,
gotta
that
be.
would be crazy. Because the fact that the
Especially
Switch isn't
nowadays,
4K,
having a home console portable or a docked console not 4K.
I just don't know
You're
if they
asking for
can.
trouble.
Like, can the Steam Deck
Like the
even do
Xbox
4K?
One X is 4K.
well, the Steam Deck can't be docked, right? Or can it? I'm not sure.
Can't be docked.
Yeah,
I mean, people
so,
have modded it to where it can be plugged in into a monitor, but
yeah. So
You can
all
buy
I
a Steam
want
Deck dock
is if they.
that docks to a TV.
I wonder if it
or-
has
I think it just
console.
docks to like a mod. It doesn't change with the Switch though. It literally changes like the internal resolution and the way
Oh.
it runs.
Yeah,
On a Switch, on a Steam Deck, I literally just think it
it like
changes the
casts
display.
it, yeah, to the
Yeah,
display,
just like
yeah.
it's just like a cast.
My
Yeah, so-
thought was the
ahead.
screen was going to be a 1440p OLED. I think they saw success with the OLED Switch, and they're just going to like stick with OLED and upgrade it to at least 1080p, maybe 1440p. I don't think it's going to 4K.
If they don't do 4K, man, like that's just
I don't know. Yeah,
that'd be
I
crazy.
feel like
You
they gotta
don't-
step it up.
You don't need 4K in Nintendo game.
No, you
like-
don't. But it's more of a
But
desire.
if they're
For
wanting
me,
to
it's
have
like-
third party stuff,
That's the thing. It's like
Like
Phil
they say
Spencer
they
has
want.
said Call of Duty is coming to Switch, which I have no idea how that's going to work. But there has to be somehow,
see.
somehow docked. It needs to be able to run 4K because if it can't, that's just I don't see how the long term success works out for Nintendo from a third party standpoint. First party wise, you're totally right. Like you don't need that for first party as much as it would be cool.
I feel like
it's not necessary, but third party wise, I don't know how they're going to do it.
we've gotten that Nintendo third party thing for 15 years now. It's like
Yeah.
they'll have a conference and they'll be like, "We're partnering with all of these guys." And it'll be like EA, Sega, Activision, all of them, and then we never get anything from them.
Yeah.
and if we do, it's years later. It's like The Witcher, and it's years later, and it's extremely dumbed down version of the game.
Yet here Nintendo is like literally leading game somehow.
Yeah.
So it's
They're
like, do
selling
they
more
do they
than-
even
This is
need
the
third party
Eastern
developers? I don't-
market.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a totally fair prediction. I would not be surprised if there was no 4K and no, 1440p even on the handheld system. I wouldn't be surprised if I mean, from what
I
I
don't know.
remember, there was the rumor earlier this year that it's not even going to be OLED. That it's going
it
to
has
just
to
be
be
an
OLED.
LED
There's no
screen.
way.
The thing is they need to have a selling
know.
point because I guess the way I look at it is in Nintendo's shoes, they have to have something that will coerce people to buy
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And if it's
That's
the
what I was gonna say.
exact same as the Switch, then people aren't going to buy it. People are going to be like, oh, I don't need to.
Yeah, having the
There's
name
no
4K
new games.
would
Like
Well, this is
OLED
actually a good-
4K, big new console.
This is a good follow-up point
Yeah.
to the next prediction I wanted us to make regarding this is will there be backwards compatibility with
I
the
was
Switch?
I was just thinking that.
I think there
I'm
will.
I'm really hoping
Yeah.
so. Like I hope I can plug
For
Tears of
sure.
the Kingdom into my Switch 2 or Super Switch or whatever.
Yeah.
there will be. For
I think
sure.
the reason why is just purely off of game sells. Nowadays, compared to in the past, a lot, games continue to sell after they come out. You know what I mean? I feel like back in the day, 10, 20 years ago, a game would launch and it would basically drop off after a couple months of no sales, barely anything. Nowadays, it's very common for games to just continue to be up in the charts. Like Mario Kart 9 still sells like hotcakes. It came out
Witcher-
years ago.
Witcher 3
Yeah.
did it forever. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Sorry, Mario Kart 8 or 9? 8. I think.
8, yeah. 8 deluxe.
And so it's like I think that they're gonna look at that and be like, people are still buying Tears of the Kingdom full price.
Mhm.
Like, why would we
Yeah.
not let them play it on our new console that we're trying to advertise as this big new powerful thing? I could see them being like, play Tears of the Kingdom, but it's even better. It can run better, 4K. Backwards, you know what I mean?
Only
But I-
$60. Buy on Switch, Super Switch.
Yeah, you have to
That's
buy
what
it
I
again.
also- Nintendo is just one of those companies where I agree with everything that's being said, but at the same time, I can also see the exact opposite being true,
And just not do it,
not
yeah.
be surprised. Like I would not be surprised if they were just like, it's
That would
not backwards
suck.
compatible, and you have to buy all of the games again for $60 or $70, and they run the exact same.
Yeah.
It's just like, here it is again. You know, I mean, think about it. The Super Mario 3D All Stars that came out a couple years ago. It's literally Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy as they were now, released now. It's not like they
Ported.
didn't like remaster Mario 64. They didn't remaster.
I will say,
Mario
I do
Sunshine.
think
like,
that
they made
was
Mario Sunshine not
fan
4x3,
service.
but that's like it.
I bet you money that they just knew people wanted those on the game, so they threw it together. It even seems like it's thrown
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I
true.
bet they had no intention of bringing those to the Switch. They saw how many people wanted them, and so they're like, some random studio
Easy
in
money.
America, throw that together real quick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man, it would just be crazy if there wasn't backwards compatibility. I'm with you guys. I think there will be. I think there kind of has to be at this point with the amount of market share that the Switch has. Like, what is the Switch right now? Is the second highest selling console of all time? Is that right, or third, something like that?
Got it. I think it's just behind PlayStation 2.
Yeah, and so the fact that it's already that high, and it's only been out 7 years now. I mean, it still probably has years of life left.
How successful is the Switch compared to its other consoles? Nintendo's other consoles.
It's the
I
highest.
think it's the
selling
most.
Nintendo
It's the
console.
highest
Highest?
selling Nintendo console.
And I think that's
actually, I
even
don't know.
more reason.
The
for
DS
back-
is
I
the
don't know
only
about
one.
DS.
I think DS is the only one that might be higher.
It's like when the Wii U came out, it was backwards compatible with all Wii games. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's because the Wii at the time was one of the highest selling consoles. And so they're like, why not? It makes sense for their old consoles, and like even DS had backwards compatibility. 3DS. And then DS
The
had Game Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
DS has 154 million units sold, and the Switch has 132.
so Switch is
below
past
it.
it.
No,
But the
So
Switch,
Switch
is
is
the
third.
so the Switch is probably the highest home console though compared to portable system.
Yeah,
even though it's
home
both.
for sure.
yeah,
It's
if
both,
you
yeah.
call it a home console, I
And
mean it
you
is.
can.
I mean,
but
you give-
I,
It's
that-
both.
that's-
It's both.
it's
Those
yeah.
numbers are getting pretty close too. You give it a few more years, I think Switch passes DS.
But yeah, how long
Yeah,
has
for
Switch been
sure.
out? 6
Why don't they
years?
just call it the Switch, and they just upgrade it a ton and basically like do a huge campaign? They'll pass it this year.
Well, that's the thing. I could be
They don't even
wrong
need to
about
release a new
this.
one.
I could be wrong
Yeah.
about this, but I'm pretty sure the DS cells include 3DS. I might be wrong about that, but if they do, then theoretically
It might include DSi.
3DS is 75.94
Is that
million.
separate? Okay, then it includes
Yeah, I think
DSi
DS
at
includes
least and stuff like
DSi
that.
and DSXL and stuff,
Yeah, so they could, I mean, technically come out with Switch
and have
Super
it be.
Switch and have it be part of the Switch and just.
That'd be so
combine those
dumb.
numbers. I mean, not that it
Wow, you know
matters,
something?
but
This
Look,
is-
if they come out with a Switch 2 and it's literally just an addition to the Switch, there's gonna be very little. It's gonna be like the OLED Switch. It's gonna be successful, but not to the way it should be, like a new console.
yeah,
What were you
that's
gonna
why. That's why I think like it's got to be branded as something new. I think because I want to believe that Nintendo has learned from their past mistakes, like with the Wii U, because the Wii U, as we all know, whether you like the system or not, and I liked the Wii U, it was a mistake. Like it was a mistake with the way they marketed
Right.
it. They're calling it the
branding
Wii
and-
U, making it seem like it was almost just like a peripheral to the Wii, which it wasn't. It was a brand new console.
Well, and especially advertising just the gamepad, not the console, made people think that it was an addition to their Wii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I think they have to. I think they've learned, and I at least I hope so. I hope they've learned.
But
and
you
they
never
go-
know with
You never know
Nintendo.
with Nintendo. But it's like I hope they've learned and they go, okay, we're branding this as the next Nintendo console. If Nintendo comes out this year, can you guys imagine? This is a big deal. We only get this every 7-8 years, and it's weird we're on the Nintendo cycle at this point because they threw
I know.
everything off with the Wii U because we used to be on the same cycle with PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. They would all.
But
come
then the
out
Wii
within,
U
like, a
screwed
year.
everything.
Yeah.
But then the Wii U screwed it up, and we got the Switch like 5 years after the Wii U because it was such a disaster. But it's like we could be getting a brand new Nintendo console this year. That's a big deal. That's crazy to think about. That's
I'm
exciting.
excited.
Yeah, because the Switch.
I
was
do
like-
think
that was a
Nintendo is
revelation.
more likely to release more consoles though nowadays compared to Xbox and PlayStation. I think
new
we
consoles.
got a while till Xbox and PlayStation upgrade again.
Well, I mean, yeah, I agree,
Yeah.
but in the sense
Like an
that there
actual
actually
upgrade.
there's a
Yeah.
question later that I have that's about like a 2.0, like halfway pro kind of step, but we'll get to that. But yeah, I agree. In terms of like a new console, I think Nintendo will be more often than PlayStation and Xbox because they don't worry about power as much, and so I think they're able to kind of just experiment more.
I never realized how bad
Yeah.
the Wii U failed. It only had
It was horrible.
13.5 million
Yeah.
sales total. So the Switch has
What?
literally done almost
Yikes.
7 times more.
That's
Think
than
about
the
crazy.
Wii U.
this. This is
Like
so
the
dumb.
Xbox Series X and S has 21 million right now.
Yeah. It
Like
absolutely
And how
does.
long has
that
it
is
been?
a disaster.
Doubled it
right now.
already.
In three in
about
4
this.
years.
This number
4
will
years.
blow your
Three.
mind even more. Animal Crossing New Horizons on the Switch, the game, has outsold the Wii U almost 4 times because it sold about like 50
game.
million units at this point.
Just a
Oh my
game.
So
God.
4 times the amount of people own Animal Crossing New Horizons than own a Wii U or ever bought a Wii U. Which is
There was more
crazy.
people watching the Eminem Fortnite concert than that owned a Wii U.
Literally.
That's crazy. It's so sad. The Wii U is just one of those consoles that it's like, man. And if I'm not mistaken, the GameCube's pretty low too. I think GameCube.
The Quest
like,
2
Oh, yeah,
sold
GameCube got destroyed by
7
PlayStation.
million more units than the Wii U.
wow.
Quest
This
2.
is Nintendo we're
The
talking
VR
about.
headset.
This is like the OG kings of video games, like Nintendo, and
Big
then they came out with
dog.
a console that just bombed. Like, how is that possible? It's so sad. Thank
It
goodness
goes-
for the
it
Switch.
Really
goes-
does show the power of marketing, though.
Yeah, really.
Goes Wii U and then it goes V Smile by VTech.
What the heck is even that?
Following
And then the
only
Soulja
by
Boy console.
2 million.
Is
Yeah.
that the Soldier, the Soldier Boy con?
What about the Stadia?
Oh, I bet Stadia
Um,
oversold it too.
Is that even
No,
like-
no way. No way.
No way.
I don't even know if
I don't even know if that's
Find it,
considered a
Hasten.
console. I don't even see
Yeah.
it on here.
Yeah, it's probably not.
because you
think
only
it's
bought
considered
a
a cat,
controller,
like a
really,
Chromecast.
right? And then it was like a subscription kind of deal.
Well, you have to buy like a gear or a Chromecast. whatever.
Chromecast, yeah,
yeah,
Chromecast.
I don't know. If Google makes it, then they'll probably
not gonna
discontinue
last.
it. Yeah.
All right.
The only
Buy a
things I feel
Google
like
car.
they've stuck with so far is their phones and their home stuff, like their home speakers.
Oh
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're home.
yeah.
But that's it. Everything else just goes.
Everything else are like, we're done. Like, if Google ever announces I remember it was a big deal a few years ago because everyone was like, oh, Google's gonna get in on the console game, and then it was just like, hey guys, here we
Yeah,
go. Oh,
and
just
then the
kidding.
Stadia.
We're done.
Isn't it weird that
Very
that's where
like a
Baldur's
gear.
Gate 3 got announced?
Did it really? That's crazy.
Remember, it was supposed to be the big game for Stadia. It had like
Yeah.
Cthulhu, and it was like all
Right.
And then here it
creepy.
is winning game of the year.
And literally, it didn't
That's
come out
wild.
until like 2 years after Stadia died.
Wow.
So sad.
That is crazy. Next question for you guys
Poor
regarding
Stadia,
Switch
man.
regarding the Switch 2. What was that, Taryn?
I just said poor Stadia.
Oh yeah. R.I.P. And not, not really.
Never even tried
Not
it.
really. It didn't
So,
deserve it.
It doesn't deserve an R.I.P.
I never
literally,
tried it, but I
Xbox
have
Cloud
it.
deserved
gaming
chance.
I
is
have
better.
the Switch 2 Oh no, I might have thrown it away.
You
Actually,
have the controller, right?
the controller. I think I threw it away though, because
Yeah,
it's
'cause you
literally
Threw it
useless now.
away.
They
It's
gave it out
literally
for free at
useless.
some
That's
You
a
can't use
collector's
it.
item. That's a
Yeah.
collector's item.
You can't
Yeah,
use
you
it
should
at
hold
all.
on to it for a collector's item. Maybe in 20 years it'll be.
Nah.
Someone will be nostalgic. for
Maybe.
The Stadia.
Hey,
I'm the one guy who bought Stadia. Could I have that controller?
I loved it. It's like he can't even play his games anymore. They're just gone.
I mean, if you updated the firmware before it, you could have used it.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah,
could
that's
Oh, well.
right.
use it.
I remember.
I
Mario
got
64
Xbox
was figuring that
controllers.
out.
Yeah. You could have used the worst controller in the market,
So
besides the Joy-Con.
with the Switch 2 potentially coming out this year, more than likely.
You think
alongside a
it'll
new
come out this
console.
year?
That's
I
the
think
rumor.
it's this
I mean,
year.
that-
It's
it
fall.
sounds like it's this year. All the rumors point to this year, and we'll get to a release date in a second, predictions wise. But I want to ask: with every new console comes new games. So Hasten kind of touched on it earlier with Mario Kart 9. What do you guys think is going to launch with the Switch 2? Because we know there has to be something. Like you can't launch a console with nothing. And I know that's happened sometimes, but it's like when the Switch came out, we got Breath of the Wild, right? And What launched with the Wii U? Something launched with the Wii U, right?
Was it Zelda?
Mario Kart.
Another
Oh, it was
Zelda?
Mario Kart. You're right. Yeah, Mario Kart 8. Or right around there, yeah. And then
Mario Kart.
was it? I don't know. We'll look into it.
I'll look it up. You guys keep going.
The Wii launched with Twilight Princess. And then
No,
Mario
add Nintendo
64, I
Land.
think, launched with the 64. So, what do we think? What's launching with the Switch 2?
I said Metroid Prime 4.
Optima-
Metroid Prime 4. You think it's finally time?
I've been seeing a lot of more movement with Metroid Prime 4. Retro has been more active. They've been hiring more. I think Prime 4 is in that development cycle. It's deep in it right now. I could see them announcing it at the same time as the Switch 2. If I'm honest, launch titles don't really exist anymore in consoles. I feel like they just have the old games launch with the console, and then the newest game comes out a month or two later. And so I think Metroid Prime 4 gets announced at the same time, comes out 2 months later.
Okay.
I could see that. I mean, how long have they been working on it? Forever.
It's been 10
years.
They announced it in
Years.
2017,
Almost.
and then it got canceled, and then
Oh my.
rebooted. So,
Well,
they
canceled.
canceled.
Right,
Yeah.
it never really got
Yeah,
canceled.
rebooted. You know, they revamped it. They
Rebooted.
started all over.
New development
I
team.
think they've restarted development. It was 2019, so it's been 4 years, 5 years almost now, since they restarted development. So it's got to be soon. It's got to be this year or next year. I think it's 2025 personally, but what about
So
you? Parker?
GameCube.
Oh, go
Well,
ahead.
I also think 2025, but that coincides with my prediction of the
Oh,
Switch
I
2's
see.
launch.
Okay, gotcha.
What do you think the Switch 2? Are we going to get into a release date?
We'll get into that in a sec. But what do you
Yeah.
think is going to launch with it, Parker? Do you have any predictions?
I would probably agree with Metroid Prime 4. Maybe the new Mario Kart 9.
It's a good
I
one.
don't know.
Fine. That's what you think.
I
Casey,
could see
right?
them. Mario Kart.
Yeah, I think it'll be Mario Kart 9, and then, well, I think it's gonna be Mario Kart 9, and then Mario Odyssey 2, followed by each other. So I think one of them's gonna launch with the console, one's gonna come out 2 months later, just like with kind of
okay.
Switch happened with Switch.
I could see that. I mean, that would be insanely hype. Like, holy crap! Could you imagine us getting a Mario Kart 9 and a Mario Odyssey 2 in the next year and a half?
Within months? Yeah.
So
That'd be awesome.
GameCube launched with Luigi's Mansion 3.
Oh, 1. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Or yeah, sorry, Luigi's Mansion, and then Wii launched with Zelda Twilight Princess.
Yeah. That was a big deal.
Wii U, where's it at? Wii U launched with,
Was it 3D World?
let's see.
Mario Kart 8.
Gosh, Wii U have a lot of.
Oh.
Wii U launched with Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
It was the place to play.
Nintendo New Super Mario
Hey.
Bros. U.
Oh, okay. That's the big one for them then.
Yeah, they had not
That
a
was
great
okay.
list of games
Wasn't the
at
best.
launch. Ninja Gaiden 3.
Oh yeah.
They had Nintendo Land, which was
Zombie
like
U.
their
Nintendo
big thing.
Land. That was cool, like pack-in style game, like Wii Sports.
Yeah.
Nintendo Land was so fun at the very start.
Yeah, I like Nintendo.
They're like
We're playing
Luigi's
that.
Mansion minigame.
I kind of
Yeah.
wish Nintendo Land was ported to the
And the
Switch.
Mario Run one.
I think eventually they'll just do a sequel to it. I could see them doing a sequel to Nintendo Land.
That'd be awesome. Nintendo Land is super underrated, I think. And
It'll
especially
be
if
one of
they
those
expand
surprise
on it.
announces. Guarantee you.
Nintendo Land's one of those games where I think it had so much potential. Like if they had expanded on that idea,
Yeah.
I think
It was
would've
just a
been
victim to the
awesome.
Wii U.
Yeah, for sure. My prediction is that we get a new 3D Mario at launch on Switch 2. And I have a pitch for it because I don't think it's Mario Odyssey 2. I think Mario Odyssey.
I also don't think it is
Really?
either.
Yeah, because Nintendo just has a history with their games. Of Mario Galaxy is the only game to get a direct sequel for 3D Mario. Because we got 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, Galaxy 2, and then Odyssey. And so I have a feeling that they're going to do something brand new. It's been so long since we had Odyssey 2. I mean, Odyssey, the first one, in 2017. It's been, 7 years now? So it's like, I think it's been too long because Galaxy 2 came out 2010. So 3 years after Galaxy 1 came out. That seems like an appropriate amount of time for like a direct sequel. I think it's too long for Odyssey 2. I'm thinking, my prediction is that it's going to be called Super Mario Dimensions. And I think it's going to be all about
Multiverse?
multiverse stuff. because that's
I
super
could see
popular
that.
right now. Here's the thing: I'm not saying I want this necessarily. This is just what I'm predicting, because Nintendo is super into. I mean, not Nintendo, but everyone is into the multiverse right now. That's the hot thing. So I could easily see Nintendo jumping in on it. Super Mario Dimensions, and it's all about Mario and the whole mechanic, like how Cappy was the mechanic of Odyssey. The mechanic of this one is going in between dimensions, going to like a parallel
great
universe
idea.
where you go back to Mario 64 and stuff like that, and play
Yeah.
alongside
Pretty
the
sure
64-bit
Mario
version.
plus Rabbids dealt with the multiverse, so I
Oh,
could
did
see
it?
them totally jumping into that. Yeah, I
Okay.
think the new one, like
I haven't
Sparks of
played the new
Joy,
one, so
I think
yeah,
it was.
I wouldn't
I
be
remember seeing
surprised,
like
yeah.
clips. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I think that's what the Mario plus Rabbids whole series is about, right? Because the Rabbids are
Yeah, it is
entering
like
from another
dimensions.
dimension.
Yeah, you're right. I played the first one, but I don't remember the story at all. If you want to call it a story.
I feel like Nintendo always does that though, where like they get very invested in a specific topic, and so the fact that Mario plus Rabbids had it, I could see them just
Yeah.
continuing that.
I think it would actually make a great mechanic for a game too, because I jumping into like paintings in Mario 64 and stuff like that. I could just imagine
Jump through like a
doing like the
rift.
big Mario leap, and going through some sort of rift into Mario Galaxy. Think
Mhm.
about it; they could combine all of the entire series.
Different
It could
game
be like
worlds.
a culmination of everything, where it's like they could have a Spider-Man
That would be
No Way
awesome.
Home moment where Mario teams up with Mario Sunshine and Mario 64, and they're all running together.
You could even
swinging
enter
on the
Mario
ship.
other
Ultimate.
Nintendo games. Like you
Discussed that
jump through a
earlier.
portal and you end up in Hyrule for
Yeah,
a moment.
yeah, it could be like a whole
Smash.
Nintendo
That would be cool.
crossover thing. It would be sick, and that would be a huge system seller. I tell you what, if they had a new 3D Mario at launch and it was like some sort of multiverse thing, that would sell like hotcakes.
I could see them doing a 3D Mario, but I don't think it'll launch with the console. I just feel like that doesn't. Has Nintendo ever launched with 3D Mario?
I think 64. I think 64 is the only one.
Or
Oh,
might
close
have.
to the stupid
64.
list.
I'm pretty sure.
I just wonder because I've noticed that I think they wait to see if the console's going to succeed. Because what's the only console that didn't get a 3D Mario? Wii U.
Well,
That
technically,
didn't
3D
succeed.
World,
They're like,
if you count.
true.
3D
I mean,
World.
does that count though? Because that's more like a Mario Wonder.
I know it's one of those topics of discussion I've seen people bring up where it's like, do you count? I mean, it is 3D. 3D's literally in the title, but
Yeah,
it plays
I guess
like
what
a-
I'd
it
say is like
plays
the
a
single
land thing, though,
player,
or like a
Yeah.
not a land, like a 2D one.
the new Super Mario. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that it has to be like the single player third person Mario games that classifies like the 3D Mario games. I do think 3D Land is pretty close, or 3D World. But since it was involved in like a Mario Maker too, I think that kind of proves where Nintendo thinks it belongs.
Yeah, I kind of agree with
You
you.
know?
I still consider it part of the 3D saga, but I do consider it different, like its own thing, kind of, because it is like just a 2D
Yeah.
Mario, basically.
I also don't think it's going to be a sequel to Odyssey, just because Tears of the Kingdom got announced very shortly after Breath of the Wild, and I forget his name. The creator always said that they wanted to do more in that world. That's why they announced
Yeah.
the sequel. But they have not said anything about Odyssey, and I don't think it's because they don't want to do more with that. But I think they feel like they've done everything they wanted, which was the capture system. Yeah, they
Yeah,
could do a
I think
sequel
so,
where there's
too.
new captures and new kingdoms, but I don't know. Like you said, it's been a little too long for
Well, it's
that.
one
It
of
would
those
feel kind of
things,
like a
too.
DLC.
Yeah, and that's why I agree with you, because I think the capture mechanic, if they were gonna do more with that, I feel like they would have done Odyssey DLC. The fact that we
Yeah.
never got Odyssey DLC is so crazy to me, especially because there was literal concept art or whatever of Isle Delfino and stuff like that, and they just never did that, which would have been
They're
so
just like, nah.
hype.
We're
And
done with
so-
that system.
Yeah, I think that they kind of were just like, oh, we kind of exhausted our ideas with this system. It's time for something.
Yeah.
new.
I mean,
But,
did we make predictions for the 3D Mario game? Because I'll go ahead and say mine.
Yeah, go for it. I want to hear them.
'Cause I think it's going to be called Mario Discovery. I didn't really have a name. I just
Oh.
thought
I like that.
because I thought that it would be a 3D open world. I thought they were going to go Breath of the Wild
Ooh.
style.
That'd be
Mario.
Oh, heck yeah.
The reason
be
why
awesome.
is because that's been the hotness, and the gaming community or the gaming developing community has been talking about Tears of the Kingdom and those type of games since they came out. Because the new hotness is big open world games with your main character. Sonic did it with Sonic Frontiers. You know, you had Breath of the Wild. There's other games. I'm trying to think. It's been like the big thing lately. You know, doing like a big open world game. I could
All
see
the
them
Assassin's
trying that with
Creeds.
Mario. Assassin's Creed. I could see them doing that with Mario. You know, having more of a because like Odyssey is as close as they've gotten to an open world. You know, where it has like the full kingdom and you get to decide. But they never really went full tilt with it, and I think that they could
Yeah.
see them doing it, where there's moons or whatever hidden throughout the entire realm.
Well,
Yeah.
and to your point, real
Yeah.
fast, Bowser's Fury, you know, is totally
Right.
like an idea. It's almost like they had an idea
Yeah,
for what if there
it's
was
like
an
a
open world
test of
Mario,
what's it
but
called?
what is it?
Proof
They
of
have
concept.
Proof exactly. It was like a proof of concept where they're like, this is what an open world Mario would be, but we're gonna do it
Yep.
in a very small setting just to give
We can
players a
see if it
taste.
does well, and
Yeah, see if
that we-
people like
yeah.
it, and people loved Bowser's Fury. Bowser's Fury
Yeah.
is awesome, and if they make like a
If I'm
open
honest, that's
world
what
Mario game
sold
like that,
a remake of 3D Mario World. If I like, I don't think most people bought it for the remake of 3D Mario or
yeah, 3D
3D
World.
Land.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, I bought it specifically because of Bowser's Fury.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would love an open world 3D Mario. That would be amazing. That'd be super cool if they did that.
That'd
I
be
just think
awesome.
like when you think about their 3D games, they've slowly gotten more ambitious with that specific aspect, is the open world part.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, totally.
But-
Anything else regarding your 3D Mario pitch?
not me. What about you
Parker?
guys?
What about you? Do you have any ideas for what the next 3D Mario would be?
Yeah, I think the same thing, kind of as you guys. The open world Mario would be awesome.
That was my
Yeah.
favorite idea that I've heard. Because like Mario Odyssey was my first Mario I've really ever played and enjoyed. Because like the other Marios I've played and it's like whatever, but Mario Odyssey I legit probably put 30 hours into. So I don't even know what to expect. I'm
Yeah,
just like
I'd love to see Odyssey
excited
on a
for
bigger scale.
something new. So
Be cool if they combined. I think they might do like a multiverse kind of thing too. I totally see that. That's like the thing that people have been doing lately.
Yeah.
You know, the whole multiverse thing. I could see Nintendo trying to dip into that with Mario. I think that'd be sick.
They could,
You
yeah,
know?
and like you said, combining the ideas, that'd actually be awesome. An open world 3D
Yeah.
Mario that also
Dimensional.
has multiversal stuff.
Imagine
be
you like jump through
so
dimensions,
difficult.
explore an area.
Dude, that would be if there's a developer that can do it, it's Nintendo.
It's
but
Nintendo.
that would,
Well, I
seems
mean,
like it
heck-
would be so difficult.
Nintendo was able to, on the freaking, dinky Switch, able to get you to go from the sky to underground in Tears of the Kingdom without loading. I mean, disguised loading. I know there's disguised loading, but it's like they let
No
you
frame rate
No,
hitches.
yeah, it's just like you can drop
no
from the
pop in.
tip top of the sky all the way to the underground world, seamlessly on the Switch. Like,
Yeah.
how is that possible?
Portably, like undocked.
Portably, yeah. You're not even
Yeah.
docked or anything. Not 4K, not 1080
Crazy.
even. It's insane. What was I gonna say? Oh, Hasten or Parker, did you guys have a title pitch or just an idea you want to throw out, just to see if you get it right?
I don't really have a title.
Super Mario, Dreams. I'm gonna say Dreams.
Oh.
I don't know
can
what
do
it's gonna be
Dreams.
about, but it's gonna be Super Mario Dreams.
I'm not even joking. I think all three of these title ideas are pretty good. I think they could legit.
They
actually
all
have-
sound like
they
games
all sound
that
like
they would
Nintendo.
do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Parker, throw one out just for the heck of it. I'm curious. I want to see if you get it right.
I don't know. I have no idea. Like I can't think of one that's as good as those. Legit, I don't think there's any
Super Mario Room.
Super Mario Room.
Room. All right.
Vroom
Super Mario
or room.
Mario
Room,
dies.
ROOM. Like
I thought you said vroom, like VROOM.
It's Mario driving
Mario
a car, but it's not
Mario
Mario Kart.
Yeah.
That would
No,
be
he's
even
not even
better.
in a car. He just
It's
goes super
gonna be
fast.
called.
like
It
It's
would
gonna
be
be
like
Super
Super
Mario hyper realistic.
Yeah, it'd be like Super Mario
hyper realistic
Run.
Mario.
It's the sequel to Super Mario Run. Room.
It's gonna be called Super Mario
Vroom.
IRL, and he's like a plumber, and you have to like unclog the
just-
toilet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
gonna be-
power wash
it's-
simulator.
oh.
But as a
Yeah.
plumber.
You
But
know my
Mario.
prediction? It's gonna be Super Mario, the movie, the game.
Yeah,
That
they're gonna pull that stunt.
that's actually kind of funny. I could see that.
They're going straight
happening.
back to 2009 when everything
Yeah.
was a game
The
remake.
game.
Shrek the movie, the game.
Yeah.
I
They
I,
base
I
it
used to
off
play
of-
Shrek on my DS. It was so fun. It's the
There was
best
a
game
Shrek
ever.
game that we used to rent on the 360 where you would catapult Shrek. It was like Angry Birds. Oh, dude.
What the heck?
Good.
I don't remember that.
What?
Do you remember that?
It is so
Yeah.
weird with old games. Like I have these memories of like these games, like Over the Hedge. When you bought
Yeah.
that Over the Hedge game, I played
You're
that.
like,
And it was like I played this first level 400 times. Not even
Yeah.
kidding.
Never got
Like
past
it's
it.
so stupid.
Yeah,
No.
it's funny how there's certain games like that. Like even Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Like the main thing we played on that was throwing gnomes. You
Yeah,
know, it's
just
like-
the
which is-
first level.
which is like the first or second level, and we never really got. beyond that. That was just what we
Yeah.
played
That's all
it
you
for.
did.
But yeah, it's funny how as a kid you can just get so hooked on one simple mechanic and just be like, all right, I'm good with this, and never explore.
Well, it might even be that you don't have a choice because you literally can't beat
can't
it. I
figure it out.
remember that throwing the gnome minigame,
Yeah.
not even knowing what to do, and that's why we kept playing it. 'Cause I would just
Mhm.
throw them, and I'm like, "What's? I'm not
All right.
progressing."
Yeah, this is just fun to chuck these as far as I
Yeah.
can.
I remember like this is probably like 15. I was young. It was like when I was first starting to game, maybe like 2 years into it, and I was with your guy, with all of you guys and your guys' dad, and I was like, he asked me, he's like, Hasten, have you ever beaten a game? And I was like, yeah. And I don't think I ever had, like, thinking about it.
Just like
But
trying a bunch
Like,
of them.
does Madden count? Can I beat Madden?
I
a
beat
season?
I beat
Madden.
my
I won the
career.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. What do you guys think? Before we get to our release date prediction regarding the Switch 2, what's the price? Let's hear the price.
400.
Yeah,
I put
$399.
400.
Yeah,
Yeah,
400. So we all
399.
guessed 400. Connor,
Everyone's
what'd you
guessing
say?
Wow, I'm the only one that's different then.
What'd you say?
I'm
I think
going.
it could be 500.
I'm going $429.99.
430.
Why that? Why that's,
Because
Why?
here's my reasoning behind it. I know it's weird.
They're
and
Japanese.
it's probably not going to be right, but yeah, no one that actually legit. I mean, I think there could just be like
Conversion.
a conversion ratio that makes it
Yeah.
something weird. But more specifically, I'm going $429.99 because I think that they're gonna realize, okay, this console isn't nearly as powerful as a PS5 or a Series X, so
We
they
can't charge the same.
They can't charge 500, but they also know that they can get away with charging more than 400 because it's Nintendo.
We're just
And
like, oh, we're
and
going to
so
charge the extra $30.
Yeah,
People
so I
will
think-
buy it.
Yeah, legit. I think they're gonna be like, we can add an extra $30 and people won't question it. If they did,
I honestly wouldn't be
450,
surprised. Yeah.
people might be like, oh, that's too much. But like 430, people are just gonna be like, I guess whatever. I'll pay.
It's
it.
like
I don't know.
basically 400.
They're-
here's the
If
thing.
they
though.
do 400, they're risking it even with 400.
Let's say this is the console. Okay, it
Yeah.
comes out and this is most realistic. I think it's going to come out. It's going to be slightly more powerful, right? It's going to launch with Odyssey 2, whatever, and it's 4K and it can go on your screen, and it's basically the same Switch. How much do you pay for it?
200.
Would you
I'm
pay
It's
for?
4K?
Would you pay 500?
No,
No.
I know you
absolutely.
would.
500 is too much.
Here's the bigger question, Hazen. Can I play Mario Odyssey 2 on my normal Switch?
That's what I was gonna ask. Is
Yeah.
the new games that
Yeah,
come
it's
out?
like Breath of the Wild. It's
Okay, then I'm not
runs
buying
better
it.
on Switch, but you can still buy it on the Wii U.
I'm not buying it then. I'll wait for a price drop. In that case,
Because that's what I'm worried about.
But what if
happening,
it
is that
launches
they come
at
out with-
400?
then I'll buy it at 400. I'm a sucker.
You buy it.
That's
at
what
4.
I'm worried about happening. Is
So
that
you're
What
they're
about
not gonna buy it
430?
for
You can buy it at 430.
Yeah, I'll do 430. They'll get me.
Okay, well, why not
So you won't
500?
do
500 is too much. That's,
Might as well spend
that's
20 more
egregious.
bucks.
At that point, I'm
Big
like,
jump.
it's a spite thing. I'll be like, no, Nintendo, you can't do that. 500? Are you kidding me?
You can't charge the
This thing
same
is
as a
not
Series
even,
X and PS5.
Yeah, exactly.
they might try it at first, just to see.
Just to test the water.
People will buy it though. That's the thing.
400.
Is there as many units as they can make? People will buy this year of the Switch 2. It's gonna sell out. So like they could charge whatever they want, almost.
If it
True.
doesn't have any new games launching with it, I don't think it'll sell.
That's
out.
true. It won't
Yeah.
sell out if it doesn't have anything with it.
Yeah, but if they launch with Mario Kart 9, oh my
And it's
gosh.
exclusive. You can't play it on
If
your
it's
Switch.
exclusive,
be
that
gone.
would be crazy. Yeah.
People will
Oh
be-
my gosh.
But people will be pissed. They'll riot.
Dude, yeah, I will say That's another good question. Real quick, round robin. Are new games only going to be available on the Switch too, or are they
Forward
gonna also work on
compatible?
Switch? Yeah, forward
No,
compatible.
it
Yeah.
won't. I don't think it will.
No.
That's my prediction. Is
Yeah,
that I
it'll
think
only work on the
new
Switch too.
Switch 2 games will only work on the Switch 2, and that's how they'll get you.
Yeah, I think
'Cause,
that
like,
too.
I didn't even know that Xbox does it, because Xbox does it secretly.
Yeah, they do.
Because
it
I
secretly.
plugged in the original Xbox One right here. So I was like, oh, might as well. You literally can't play new games.
Mhm.
It was like,
Yeah.
play this on cloud gaming. I'm like, no, I want to download it. And I looked it up. It's like, yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Crazy. They did it so scummy and secretly. I
They
was
do
like,
it secretly,
bruh.
yeah, because they didn't want people to make
To
a big deal
riot
out
and
of
be
it,
like,
yeah.
I have to get a new console. Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing.
So-
It makes sense. At a certain point, people need to be okay with
You
getting.
have
a new
to give
console,
up your old
where it's
console.
like,
Come on,
okay,
you have
we
to
can't
move
expect
on.
like the
Yeah.
N64 to be running freaking Switch games.
Yeah.
You know, it's like.
I mean, I won't
Dark
say
Field?
names, but I had a
You can play
friend
Tears of
in
the
high
Kingdom on
school where
N64.
he straight up, he refused to buy an Xbox One. And all my friends, we were like playing Destiny and Minecraft. He refused. He was on an Xbox 360 probably to like 2017.
Yeah, just refused to give in.
I was like, bruh.
The
it's
servers
like-
are shutting down, and he's like, "I'm not giving up. Halo 3's going
I'm
down,
hanging
but
on.
I'm not
I'm
stopping."
hanging I will not let you go 360.
Xbox One's overrated anyway.
I mean, I get it to an extent, like the first couple years after a new console. Like, I get wanting new games to still come to the previous generation for the first couple years. But, like, at a certain point, people have to be okay with.
New games should
moving
not
on.
be launching on Xbox One at
Yes,
this point,
exactly.
or PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
They should be exclusive to the new consoles
100%.
and PC.
Because, like, what was it? Like, Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights came out, and they canceled the previous version. They had announced it was going to come to Xbox One and PS4 as well. But then they canceled those versions the year of release because of what happened with Cyberpunk. Because Cyberpunk came out, remember, and it was broken. Like, you straight up could not play it on the Xbox One or PS4. It only worked on PC or PS5 and Series X. And so Gotham Knights ended up canceling their One and PS4 versions. But because of it, because they had been developing for those games as well, apparently the game got locked at 30 frames per second.
Oh, that's rough.
They couldn't do 60 frames. And I think to this day, you can't do Gotham Knights 60 frames on console. I think you can only do it on PC.
I mean,
Which
look,
was a big
I
issue too with
personally
that game.
am an advocate for dropping older consoles. People are going to hate it, but I am. Because you reach a point where you're making a game worse by letting older consoles have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? A good example is Destiny. Destiny refuses to drop old consoles, and they are literally at the memory limit of old consoles. So they have to start getting rid of content. Like, dude, just drop them. Who cares? They'll buy a new console if they want to play it.
That'll actually fit
You know?
into a question I have later really well.
Yeah, I
about
saw.
Destiny. But yeah, I think at a certain point you got to move on. You got to be okay with moving on. But I will say, this is why I think they have to maybe call it something completely different and not call it the Switch. If they call it Switch anything, people are gonna be upset that they can't play the new game.
Yeah, like
on
I
their
can't play my
Switch.
Switch game on my Switch.
On my Switch. Yeah, it's like.
I think if
Mario
they
Kart
do, if they do backwards compatibility, it's fine. Like really,
Yeah,
I
backwards
don't
compatibility
think
would
they'll even get any problems if they can't play like the future games on the new. On
And
the
forward
Switch, you know what I mean?
compatibility is
Yeah.
weird. It's one of those weird scenarios because I do think some people will get upset just because we have that privilege with other consoles like Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Because Xbox has been so generous with forward compatibility for so long. So I think people will see that and be like, F you, Nintendo.
Yeah.
This game's barely
Yeah.
more powerful. It's a direct sequel to Mario Odyssey and I can't play it. You know?
That's a great point. Like you said that perfectly. Because yeah, Xbox has created this, like you said, this privilege amongst a lot of us where we kind of expect our console to
Yeah.
essentially last a long time, especially with cloud stuff now, where they're able to, you can just stream it. You know, it's like, heck, if you
Yep.
can't download it, like you were saying, your OG Xbox One, like your piece of crap OG
Play
Xbox One,
Cyberpunk.
can
Play
stream
Starfield.
it. You can
Literally.
stream
Yeah, I can play
Starfield on that.
Starfield.
You can
Horribly.
play it on there.
It's gonna be
technically.
horrible.
It's gonna be
because
horrible.
it's cloud
You
gaming.
can technically do it. It's like Xbox.
If I
has
had got
kinda-
internet, yeah.
Yeah, in a way, like Xbox has kind of spoiled their player base with that stuff, and in a way, it's kind of holding them back. If I'm being honest, with certain
It
games. Like
is,
the Series
for sure.
S, like the Series S is kind of holding back some of the Series X games. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. I can just see it being a big issue to people, and not with me personally, but I could see Mario Odyssey 2 gets announced this year, coming to the Switch 2. That's what they call it. They call it the Switch 2, and it's exclusively on Switch 2. I can see people right now getting super upset that they can't play it on their Switch.
Well, and guarantee you they're gonna pull some Nintendo shit, and they're gonna be like, Tears of the Kingdom is launching on Switch 2. It's a brand new version of Tears of the Kingdom with DLC.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
DLC is not coming to the original version. It's
Oh
only
my
on the new
gosh,
version.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they do that.
Yeah,
They do
totally.
that
I
kind
could
of
see
stuff.
that.
You
That
know?
actually
Where they're
plays
like,
into
Mario
one of my
Kart
later
8 is
predictions,
coming to
yeah.
the Switch, but it comes with Link. You can drive as Link and Villager. Oh,
Yeah.
you can't do that on the Wii U version though.
That is
know.
super. That's a
That's
really
true.
good point, and that literally applies to one of my later predictions, which I'll get to. But yeah, it's like, yeah, straight up Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They're like, hey, this is launching right around when the Switch is coming out, and a bunch of
It's
new
exclusive
tracks,
content.
bunch of new stuff. But sorry, Wii U players, like I know you guys
Yeah.
got a
Thanks
crap
for
console
supporting
for
us and buying our
thanks for
crap
supporting us, but here's this
console.
thing on Switch that's gonna be 10 times
Yeah,
better.
F you.
You gotta buy
New
the
prediction.
console, though. Yeah.
Mario Kart 8 Super Ultimate Deluxe launching.
Yeah,
on
they're not
Switch
doing another.
Super
They're
Switch.
not doing a new one.
Oh my god.
Deluxe,
Here's the
Deluxe,
thing, though.
Deluxe.
I'm not even joking.
Deluxe
That legit
Plus.
could happen
I would be
because of
livid
how
at that
well
point with-
Mario Kart
Yeah,
8
that
has
would
held
be-
up. I could see it happening.
It's still great. Like
It is.
Well,
it's
yeah.
hard.
It is.
How
I don't-
can they? Here's the
But they
thing,
need a new name. Like it needs to be
How can they
9. There needs to be a
improve?
new number.
right? Think about Mario Kart 9. What are they gonna do?
add more
Nothing.
items.
They don't even have to.
They're just
They
gonna
should-
do
they
that with
could
Mario
just
Kart
make
8.
money.
Mario Kart 8 is got DLC up until like last month.
True.
A 10-year-old game
Yeah.
is still. It's like
Oh
they're
my
gonna
gosh.
support it until it is completely dead.
When you say that, like, I'm sorry, here's my personal opinion. Mario Kart 8 is the ultimate Mario Kart. Like, there's no doubt
yeah.
about that. It's the best Mario Kart. It's amazing, but it needs to die. Mario Kart 8
Yeah,
it
it's
is
been
time,
living for
it
too
is
long.
time to
Put
put
it
it
out of
in
its
the
misery.
grave. It is
It's
time.
been 10 years.
10 years, legit. It
That's
launched
crazy.
in 2014. It is now 2024. How is
Oh
this
my
game
gosh.
still alive?
Okay,
and
so
getting
why
new
didn't they just do a
content?
Mario Kart Ultimate then? Mario
Yeah.
Kart Ultimate and
Here's
name
what
it
they're
that.
gonna do, Burger. They're gonna get Mario Kart 8, and they're just gonna change the name to Mario Kart Ultimate and re-release
Ultimate,
it.
yeah.
They'll add more
I wouldn't be
characters,
surprised, honestly.
Yeah.
more carts.
Kind of like that's
That'd be
what
cool. You could use.
that's what Smash Ultimate was. Let's be real for a second. Smash Ultimate was built off of the bones of Smash Wii U, right? It wasn't a
In a way,
completely
sure.
brand new, like compared to.
Connor's head is
All
about
They
to
should add all
explode.
the
Well,
Smash player.
I mean, mechanics
Smash
wise,
players into
no,
Mario
mechanics
Kart.
wise, it's completely new. But in terms
Right.
of yes, like the
like the
the,
bones.
the characters and the stages, for the most part, it's like it's all.
Like
from,
I imagine genuinely
previous
Nintendo
ones, yeah.
got Smash Wii U and then built it off of that. Obviously, it's a completely different game, but it was built off of something that they already had made recently. You know,
Yeah.
compared to like the difference between Melee, Brawl, and Wii U, which were completely different system and engine changes. You know, I think Mario Kart Ultimate is going to be that, where it's Mario Kart 8, but just with more people and more stages.
What I hope is that Mario Kart 9 is brand new. I hope it's literally, even if it's 12 total tracks, it starts out small and it's literally 12.
I would
brand new-
suck.
12, no, think about this. Think about
Boo.
this. 12 brand new tracks, completely from the ground up, modern new Nintendo. We're talking like
3
them at
Grand
their
Prix.
A game. Them at their A game. Well, hear me
Yeah.
out. Hear me out though. Launches with 12 tracks. They announced that Mario Kart 9 is going to be a games of service style game, and it's going to
It'll
go
be
for
like
the
Mario
next
Kart
6
Online.
years.
That's yeah.
For the next 6 years, it's going to be going to be getting new Grand Prix every 3 months.
Or
So
better
every 3
yet,
months, you
they
get a
just
new
say
Grand Prix.
indefinitely. They don't even say. They're just saying
until
this
it
is the Mario
runs out of
Kart.
popularity. Yeah, and then they sell characters. They can even sell the characters or the character. Heck, even if it's free,
Ugh.
I don't care.
I hope
Um,
not.
I mean,
you know,
look, I
characters coming
said it
every 3
in the
months. That'd
last
be awesome.
podcast. I think more games will do that, where they become one game. I could see them just coming out and it's Mario Kart. No 9, no Ultimate. It's
Better
just Mario
yet,
Kart.
Nintendo
Yeah.
Kart. Make it
Nintendo
happen.
Kart. Yeah,
So,
that'd be
yeah,
sick.
That's
That's
the
what I was gonna say.
ultimate wish. That's the ultimate.
I mean,
wish.
potentially they
Why not
do
play as
keep
Kirby?
the name
Yeah.
Mario
Kart.
just because of marketability. You know,
yeah,
I learned a lot about that just because of like Destiny, where that's why they keep the two. just because marketability, the name.
Here's what
No.
you do then. You call it Mario Kart Nintendo Stars or something like that.
You call it Mario Kart, Nintendo Kart.
Mario
You
Kart,
call it Mario
Nintendo
Nintendo.
Stars,
9.
Xbox crossover,
Ultimate.
X PlayStation.
Ultimate plus Bowser's Fury.
Plus Bowser's Fury 2.0. Dream Star
Deluxe.
Deluxe.
Mario Kart X
Yeah.
Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite.
XXX.
Eminem
Mario
concert.
Kart launching in. You have to open Fortnite to launch Mario Kart 9.
Yeah, now found in Fortnite. Can you imagine? They're like Mario Kart 9. Find it in Fortnite.
Oh my
That'd be
gosh.
crazy.
They got him look Jonesy looking at one of the worlds and it's Mario Kart 9 like
Yeah.
floating in space.
Mario. It's like you can't come in there unless you have a Nintendo skin on,
You have to, yeah.
It won't let
and
you.
you have to have an active Nintendo Switch Online account as well.
and you can only play it on the Switch. You want to play Mario Kart 9?
Yeah.
No, you can't
You have to launch it through the Fortnite app on Switch.
on the Switch.
Ooh, I think we'll get GameCube
Oh, yeah.
on the Switch Online this year.
We
I
need
think
to.
it's gonna-
That'd be
that's-
awesome.
That needs to
Wait, is
happen.
it what's next? Is it GameCube or DS?
It's GameCube. GameCube next.
Yeah.
time.
We're gonna get the
GameCube
GameCube
next.
2.
Yeah, now that we've gotten Game Boy, it's now time for GameCube. I think technically they could say wait, Game Boy Advance is included, right?
Game Boy
I don't remember.
Advance is already
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so it's GameCube next for sure then.
Heck yeah.
There's no way.
That'd
There's
be
no
so
way
sick.
they can do
That'd be
it.
So awesome. I doubt it too.
That would be awesome. If they do GameCube, I'll get it in a second.
oh,
Like
yeah.
I'll do the Ultimate.
Oh my god.
There's so many good games on GameCube.
GameCube.
Being able to play Melee, anything like that. Oh,
Dude,
wow.
there's no way. Here's the thing.
Oh wow.
That would be a dream. That would be amazing. I don't think they'll do it though, because they still haven't put Smash 64 on there.
You want to know why they won't do it? Is because they can sell those games
Yeah,
for $60
Yeah.
It's true.
individually.
Well, and like, man, this is going down a rabbit hole, but yeah, GameCube's like probably my favorite like console overall in
with
terms
the
of
amount of
like the games that were on it and stuff. Like I loved the GameCube. I'm super
Nostalgia
nostalgic
boner.
for it. Yeah, and so it's like
What?
if they did a Switch Online for GameCube, that would be like the biggest steal for me because I'd be like, I love like 90% of this library. It'd be
Yeah,
amazing.
there's not really like games they would add that I wouldn't be like, ugh.
Yeah.
No, like sometimes with the whatever they're called, the backwards compatibility things, I'm like, there's nothing on there.
Yeah, sometimes they drop one. They'll drop like a new month of them, and it's just like I don't care about any
Yeah.
of these. Yeah. All right. Last prediction regarding the Switch 2. Let's hear it. Let's hear your release dates. Give me the exact date. When's it happening? When are we getting this thing?
Oh shoot, that's not fair. I didn't have an exact date.
I don't have an
I
exact
didn't,
date.
I didn't have an exact
Hell.
You
date.
can give me a reference. I'll start out with mine though. If you guys want to
Yeah,
quickly
go ahead.
throw out an exact date, you can.
I mean,
I'll give you guys mine.
I don't have an exact date, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm guessing November 8th this year. It's a Friday, which is typically a pretty common console release day. I think Tuesdays also, like with video games, has always been.
Wait, didn't the Series X and the Series X was released in November, right?
Yeah, and so did the PS5. That's why I'm thinking November. I think November's a good time for a new console. I think it'll be right before Black Friday, and so I'm pinpointing exactly November 8th. But obviously, it could be anywhere around there. I wouldn't be surprised if it's even earlier than that. But my personal exact official prediction, November 8th, launching with Super Mario Dimensions.
So
$429.99.
mine is September 20th,
Are the games $70?
2024. What?
Go ahead.
September 20th, 2024. And I don't know if you guys heard this at all, but Game Shark kind
Oh,
of
yeah, I saw that.
leaked
Yeah,
some stuff, and they said that it's supposed to launch in September
I
this
did
year,
hear about that. Yeah.
to coincide with the Switch 2 launch or whatever. So I'm thinking one of those Fridays, so either the 6th, 13th, 20th, or 27th. But I think it'll be towards the end of the month, which would be like the 20th.
I think that's a good prediction. I did hear that Game Shark came out and said that they said that in error, but of course they're gonna say that. You know, it's like
Sure.
so.
Nintendo was like,
Yeah,
like,
Nintendo was like that was a
say
mistake,
it!
right?
that was an error, right?
That was an error, right? Yeah, but it very much could. I could see that September. It would be weird though. I don't think has any console ever launched in like September. That'd be such a weird time. But I'd be
The
down
Switch
for it.
launched in March.
Yeah, that's true.
So like,
Yeah, they could
who
do that.
knows?
Yeah,
That is
I'll
true.
go ahead and say mine since you just said
Yeah.
that, because March 3rd, 2025
Oh,
is when I
okay.
think.
Pushing to
'Cause look,
2025.
here's my reasoning, right? Nintendo is the only company that will actually delay something for the good of the game,
Yeah.
right? Or the good of the console. And I think that 2024 is like a lull year for gaming.
I think so too.
And I think Nintendo might know that. And so they might be like, okay, 2025, we're going to come out swinging and it'll be a big year. Because if it launches in 2024, it's not going to launch with a big game. It's my prediction. It's on here too. I don't think there will be a launch title.
No.
Like I said, I think that it will be a couple months later. That tends to be how consoles are nowadays, where they launch with an old game. I think Tears of the Kingdom will launch. You know, I could see Mario Kart 8 launching again. Who knows?
Gosh.
They'll have a lot of old stuff, but I don't think any new things for the first month or two. I think March is when they're going to launch, and they're going to say 2025 is the year they're going to have big games. Metroid Prime 4, Mario Odyssey, or Mario Discovery, whatever. So
I think that's a good
that's
prediction.
my prediction.
I could see that happening. I think my only counterpoint to it would be I think Nintendo knows that 2024 is going to be a lull year to
Yeah.
where they're going to push to get the Switch 2 out because they know they could straight up own 2024.
They could own
as a-
2024. Yeah.
Like,
If
That's what I
they
was gonna
launch
say.
own it.
early enough, they'd have to launch when Hasten's timeline was,
Yeah,
which
like
is September.
Yeah, for sure.
If they launch in November, it's over. Like it's
At
basically
that point, you're
2025.
getting to 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not considered for game of the year. They're not anything like that.
Depending
you know?
on when it launches. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, think
Yeah,
about it,
I
though,
could
like,
see September for that reason.
if they launched in September and launched with Mario Odyssey 2, like it's over. Like Nintendo won 2024, you know.
There's no chance. I mean, maybe
I
because
don't know, man.
Tears of the Kingdom and Odyssey were so, or Breath of the Wild and
Yeah, that's
Odyssey
what
were
I'm
so
thinking,
close
yeah.
together.
Mhm.
But
It's time. It is time for a 3D Mario. Like 100%. Like it took. Think about it. There's no way, and I could be wrong, but there's no way 3D Mario takes quite as long as a
like
3D
a
Zelda.
like an RPG.
And so the fact
no way.
that Tears of the Kingdom came out before already, it's already out, and by the time Switch 2 comes out, it's gonna have been out for like a year. Like Mario Odyssey came out 6 months after Tears of the Kingdom. You know, 6-7 months after, or not Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. Sorry. You know, so it's
The only
like,
thing that that
I think it's time.
makes me not too confident is because of Mario Wonder.
Mm,
Because Mario Wonder came out literally what 3 months ago, 4 months ago.
yeah.
And when I looked, 3D World came out in 2012 and Odyssey came out in 2017. So 5 years later. And I just think Nintendo is going to be like, we have a Mario game.
Yeah,
Mario Wonder is right there,
it's right there.
you
That's
know?
true.
Because I feel like they don't want to like overshadow Mario Wonder by being like, oh, well, Mario Odyssey 2 is obviously the one we were working on, the real one,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I can see that. Parker, hit us with it. What's your release date prediction?
I agree. I just put fall. I didn't have an exact date, but I would say September for that reason, so they can own 2024.
Yeah.
So
Do you think it? What do you do? You think it launches with Mario or Mario Kart 9?
I would say Mario Kart probably. I think it's going to be Mario Kart Ultimate or 9 or whatever with the new Switch. That'd be sick.
Let's
Which
ask this
obviously
then.
gotta at some point,
What's
so.
between then and now?
I have a
Nintendo.
list.
Nintendo wise?
They have
For Nintendo, yeah.
Princess Peach. I
they have
think
the
is
Peach game. They have Mario vs Donkey Kong in February.
Like some of these
Thousand Year
tiny
Door.
games. Yeah, Thousand Year Door. It's like you can tell. It's like
Luigi's
people
Mansion.
bring this up, but it's like you can tell when Nintendo's at the end of their console
Because it's
like-
just remakes
it's just
and small
remakes
games.
and small games.
Yeah.
Like,
They don't do anything big.
yeah, it's like
And
Thousand
they
Year Door,
always
I'm pumped
end
for
a
it, but-
generation with a Zelda game.
Yeah, 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 all the time. Skyward Sword was the end of the Wii. Twilight Princess was the end of GameCube. Breath
They
of the
always
Wild
go
was
to
the
the
end
next
of the
console.
Wii U. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom could be the end of the Switch.
The end
you
of the
know, like
Switch.
right at the end. So, yeah, that's a good point. All right, well that was fun getting our Switch predictions out there. I want to go into just our own personal predictions now. We can kind of go back and forth throwing out some of our 2024 predictions or just hopes and desires. It doesn't even necessarily have to be an exact prediction, but What are you wanting from 2024? What are you expecting from 2024? Let's go ahead and start. Tanner, if you want to throw one out there, let's hear it.
Yeah, I have two different lists. I have predictions, which are like more realistic, and then I have my high hopes predictions, which are like the unrealistic. Right.
All right, let's hear it.
I'll go ahead and start with my first prediction, which I think is Borderlands 4 will be announced because the movie's coming out this year with Kevin Hart and Kate Blanchett and all
That's
that.
right. Yeah, that's
I
been delayed.
supposed to.
Didn't even know they were doing a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that they'll use that as a launch point to announce their game because Borderlands, I feel like that would be smart of them to do. Because I mean, look, Borderlands 3 or Borderlands games are AAA titles, but they're not on levels of like, you know, Dark Souls or Elden Ring. You know, they're more of one of the more niche AAAs. So I think they'll use that as kind of like, oh, the movie, like you like the movie, you know,
Yeah.
new game.
What do they call that? They call that something like synchronicity or something, you know, like where things kind of launch at the same time too.
Right. It's kind of like how bad example, like Fortnite does that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
oh,
they do that all the
new
time.
this movie, yeah, like
Yeah,
the new
here's
TMNT. Yeah,
This
this
skin,
TMNT.
yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. When did
I think that
Borderlands 3
it
come
will.
out, too. It's been a while.
Borderlands
right?
3 was 2018,
Oh wow, yeah. It's been a while. now.
2019.
6 years.
Look it up.
Yeah, it's time. That makes sense. That would line up timeline wise.
I mean, it was
well, no,
2019.
2019.
2019.
So I mean, 5 years. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. With Borderlands, here's the thing, right? Is they had Borderlands 3, which was successful, but it wasn't as successful as like Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 is still considered favorite amongst fans. And then they had Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which came out 2 years ago, and it didn't get received very well. So I think that's making them even more like, okay, we need to launch a new game to make up for a lot of lost revenue and sales, and so they're probably now pumping the gas on the next game. I think maybe if Wonderlands was better, we're looking at 2026 or Borderlands 4 2025, but
Yeah, I could see an announcement this year for sure. Like that would totally line up, especially
Have they been? Oh no, they did Tiny Tina's. That's right. I was gonna say, did they do
Oh,
anything in
yeah.
between? But
Tiny
yeah,
Tina's. And that's very
I mean,
much
they
like
had-
pre-sequel kind of.
yeah, they had DLC, and then they had like a second wave of DLC that wasn't part of the season pass. But Borderlands 3 hasn't been supported for a while. Then yeah, they had the spin-off game, Tiny Tina's, which is basically Borderlands 3. It's like the same engine.
Yeah.
It's kind of like pre-sequel, but
Sweet. Hasten, what about you?
I think we will be getting a new Naughty Dog IP this year.
That was
I don't
one of mine.
know exactly what it's gonna be.
new IP.
New IP. I'm hoping it's gonna be some kind of medieval, like some kind of medieval game.
That'd be sick.
for
That'd be cool.
early 2025.
I'd actually play it,
Oh wow.
maybe.
You think you think it'll hit 2025?
I think it'll be early or like June 2025.
I would love that. When do you think it gets announced? Game
And
Awards
then
or
Summer
E3
Game
time?
Fest.
Summer
Game
Game
Fest.
Fest? Okay.
Yep. E3 doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's true. I'm always gonna
Oh.
call it that. I'm sorry, Jeff. It's always gonna be called E3 to me.
Shout out to Jeff.
Love you, Jeff.
If
Yeah.
well,
Jeff.
technically,
My name Jeff.
Summer Game Fest is 3 months, so it's 3. I don't know. You should change it to E3.
Yeah. He just
Yeah.
needs to buy the IP now. Buy it. It's gone. Buy it. Buy the name.
Just buy the name. Yeah, just buy the
Straight up, he
name.
doesn't have to do anything else. He can just buy
Just
the name.
give the ESA $14.
They'll give it to you.
and they'll give it to you.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, please, I need to
I mean,
pay
think
my
about
rent.
it. Why I don't know why the ESA wouldn't sell it to him at this point, because it's like they're not going to use it. They might as
Not
well.
using it.
Heck, even if he buys it for cheap, you know, it's better to make money off of the name than just have it sit in
True.
uselessness for however long. You know. Anyway,
Indefinitely.
that actually kind of goes off onto one of my predictions real quick. I was just going to say, I think 2024 is going to be the kickoff of Summer Game Fest in a legitimate, like, big way. I think Jeff
Hope.
Jeff tries to actually, now that E3 is officially dead, like buried in the grave,
He'll
gone,
take over.
I think he's ready to like take over. I think he's going to announce, I don't know if it'll happen this year, but I think he's going to announce that he's planning to do like a full-blown in-person convention style stuff starting
I would love
by
that.
2025.
That'd be awesome.
So I don't think it'll be ready by this year because it's too short a notice at this point. Because he'd have to have that ready in 5 months. But I think by 2025, I think he's gonna this year announce, starting next year, we're doing like a convention. We're in person. It's gonna be like PAX. It's gonna be like how E3 kind of was. We're bringing it back. It might not be quite the same. It might be spread out a little more, just because Jeff likes to do that for whatever reason. But I think he's gonna try to fully take over. Anyway, Parker, what about you? You got a prediction?
Along with Hasten, Naughty Dog IP. That was one of mine. New IP. I think it'll.
They talked
get
about new
I don't know
IP?
what it is.
They are working on a new IP.
Yeah, they've confirmed
Something.
it.
I didn't even know that. That's cool.
Maybe a Last of Us 3 announcement.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just
He still
saying.
might be in heart.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Hey,
To me.
Don't
you never
give
know.
him-
I thought they said they were done with Last of Us.
No, they're.
I could have
Okay.
swore they said something about like they're done or
they say-
Uncharted or
They
something.
say a lot of things. But
Yeah, they say things and then it'll like come out a week later that like Neil Druckmann was like, I'm gonna be doing Last of Us Part 3 next week, or it's
Yeah.
like something like that. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
okay,
he's literally said he's written the script. He hasn't said it's in active development or anything, but I think he's literally said he's written the script. And so it's happening.
Well-
It's confirmed that Naughty Dog's working on 2 games right now. They've confirmed that.
Well, one of them's probably Last of Us 1 remastered again,
yeah,
and then
true.
the other one's
Yeah.
Last of Us 1 remastered.
No. Last of Us 2 remake on the PS.
On the
Well, a
PS6.
remaster of the remake.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
No, a remake of the remaster.
They're gonna announce a remaster.
No, they're gonna
of
remake
Crash Bandicoot.
The PS3 version, not the PS4 version.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the PS3.
So it'll be called Last of Us
No, on the
Part
PS5,
1
on the PS3.
PS3 remake PS5.
Oh my gosh. Parker,
We're
do you have
gonna
any
make the
ideas
Last of Us TV series game.
based on the game. Last of
Um,
Us the series, the game.
The series, the
Wait,
game.
one second.
It's like Telltale. It's like
This is along with one of Tanner's, the Minecraft End update. Oh, well, we gotta wait for Tanner because he's
we'll
gonna
wait for
join me
it.
on this.
Yeah. Tanner's on a phone call real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into one of mine real quick, while Tanner's on that. But I'm gonna say one that I think is going to disappoint Hasten and myself and Parker too. I mean, this is something that I'm very much looking forward to this year. I'm extremely excited for it. NCAA 20 or 25 is probably what it's gonna be called. I hate to say this. My prediction
Because it's gonna get
it's
canceled.
EA. I think it's gonna be bad. I think EA is gonna blow it somehow. And it makes me really sad to say that because I love NCAA and I'm looking forward to it
I
so
could
much.
see that.
But I think that EA is gonna
No.
fumble it.
Now, what do you mean bad?
I think that it's going to come out and it's gonna feel bare bones and it's gonna be a microtransaction hellscape. I think it's gonna be like they're gonna my ultimate team the heck out of this and make it seem just
It's
I don't know.
possible. You're 100% right. EA is scummy. They're garbage people.
yeah.
But I'd say it's going to be a lot harder to do that with college football because you don't have like a PA. You don't have like a college football PA that you can just take people's names. You know what I mean? They already said they're going to pay $500 to whoever wants it to be in the game, but that's not enough. Like you're not going to get Shador Sanders to sign up for $500.
No.
You know what I mean? Or
exactly.
Dion for $500.
Mhm.
So and they came out last week. I don't know if you heard this, but they said Dynasty mode will be the featured mode. It's the mode like
Let's go.
for the game, which is exactly what I wanted to
As
hear.
it should be, yeah.
So, and here's the thing: they have the gameplay because they're just using football, Madden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just need all they need to do to be successful is add stadiums, add uniforms, and add the songs.
The
Use
songs.
college
You
songs.
gotta
That's all you
have
got
the
to do.
college
If
songs.
you do all that,
Yeah.
you're successful. So I agree. I think they're gonna mess it up, but I'm hopeful.
I'm
Unlike
hopeful
you,
too.
apparently.
Listen, like I want nothing more than it's been 10 years. It's been 10 years since NCAA 14, so it's time. I want it to be good. I want it to be awesome. Actually, it's been longer because technically NCAA 14 came out in 13.
13. Yep.
So it's
it's
been
11 years.
11 years, which is nuts. So it's like, I want this to be great. I want it to be amazing. I'm super excited for it. A few things that I want you to be able to customize characters and stuff like that. I want to be able to make the jugs, which are these.
Luckily, they did that with Madden like this past year. So I don't see why they won't just transfer that right over. They re-put it back in from like
Okay,
Madden, you know.
That's a good
12.
sign. So I want that. Another random thing I want mascot mode. That was one of my favorite things in NCAA.
It's already confirmed.
Is it confirmed? Oh, heck yeah,
Confirmed.
let's go. Okay, that's awesome because the mascot mode, super underrated. If you don't know what it is, you can play as the mascots and face off against each other. So, we're Utah Ute fans. You could play as Swoop, and you
Play
could
Swoop.
Okay.
go up against the Florida Gator.
Is that
something
you?
Like that. What was that? Oh, yeah, there it is. But,
Right there.
yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm not
I
the most
I do want
hopeful.
recruiting. I want
Yeah.
recruiting too. Because
Recruiting is cool,
that was really
yeah.
fun with
Redshirting
that
players
was
and
really
stuff like
fun
that.
with like redshirting players and like pulling that stuff. So
The dynasty mode's the most important thing. Above all else, they have to get the dynasty mode correct because
it has to be.
that was my favorite thing about it, and I'm sure you agree. Like we would play seasons upon seasons with some of these characters. We'd go through their full 4 years, and then have to say goodbye to them. And it was like this. You get invested with some of these players. You build them up. You get their
You really
get
do.
them, higher levels. You get them. You try to get to the national championship. You go through these seasons. It's so fun. And then when they leave, you're building up your next class. You got some guys that are now a year 2 or a year 3.
I'm hoping they have their menu because like the menus for NCAAs were so great.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the backgrounds being like, the fans and the all the what's it called? Like the when like it's like the celebrations and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like all the pregame stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. I'm hoping that the menus are good because Madden's menus of trash and they've been the same for I'm not kidding you 6 years now. Like literally the exact same menu with different
This is
colors.
why I worry.
So it is worrisome for sure, and it could be a cash grab. But if they do it right, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Well, and another thing too is I hope they let you set, and I think Madden still does this, but lets you set your favorite team and have your menu be based around the team, because that's one thing I loved with NCAA is they'd theme the entire menu around your favorite team. So it would be playing the Utah Utes theme song. You know
how they theme it now?
The game with the music. So hype with the trumpets.
You know how they theme it now, Connor?
How?
The highest rated player on the team that you like, so like Cowboys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Micah Parsons would walk out there and stand.
They just stand there.
That's what he does.
Oh,
he just you're scaring me after we're talking about all this, but
I mean, I don't know. Part of me hopes that because it's been so long that they're going to get this one right. And here's my biggest hope. This goes into my hope category regarding NCAA. My biggest hope is that they come out with NCAA 25 this year, comes out this summer, and then they don't make another one for 2 or 3 years. I straight up don't want them to annualize this. And I know they will because it's EA and it's a sports game, so I know it will be. But in my hopes and dreams, they come out with NCAA 25, they
every 3 years.
For 2-3 years, and it's awesome. And then 2026, 2027 or whatever, they can come out with
when new players start coming in.
Next one.
Because college is every 4 years you get new players, basically.
That's a great
point.
Well,
unless you're Covey and you stay for,
stay forever.
8 years. But if they do that, and you could update your rosters technically every 3 years. Mm-hmm. And in between there you update your game.
Yeah. That'd be perfect. Yeah, heck, base it around the 4-year cycle, It's like with the recruiting class, have it be you sign all these players for 4 years to use their likeness and their name and everything for 4 years. That way that way they can get down the cost a little bit, because like you were talking about earlier, the $500 isn't going to cut it for people like Shador. It's not going to happen. He's a celebrity in the college football world at this point. There's no way, someone like him or Caleb Williams would ever take $500 to use their likeness. So it's like if they raise that price a bit, but then it's good for 4 or 5 years, make them sign it, and it's good till 2028, till the next college football game comes out. There you go. That kind of helps mitigate some of that cost.
Yep.
That might be kind of the solution. But yeah, so that's one of my predictions. Hasten, do you have another one you want to jump into?
There's NCAA.
I don't particularly have another one
That's
for
fine.
this year. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what's gonna happen this year because like there's just nothing to like look forward to. I was gonna say like Elder Scrolls, but my hopes and dreams have been crushed for about 11 years on that one, so I'm not gonna even say it.
Yeah, I will say
I don't know.
I can see in Tanner's predictions he has Elder Scrolls 6 news. I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll talk about that a little bit if he comes back. But oh, there he is. But yeah, I think Elder Scrolls 6 is not going to happen this year. I don't think we're going to hear about it for another year at least.
Nope. I mean, Bethesda still has to fix Starfield, so
yeah. While we wait for Tanner to hop back on the mic real quick, I want to ask you guys. We're just going to jump into a question real quick that I have regarding 2024. GTA 6 was announced December of 2023. They announced the release
You're
year.
muted, Tanner.
You're muted, Tanner. They announced the release year of 2025, just the year in general. Hold up, we're going to see if Tanner's trying to say something.
Technical difficulties.
Anyway, I'll continue while Tanner figures out his mic. But when do you guys think we see GTA 6 gameplay?
gameplay.
It's got to happen this year at some point. And when's the release date? 2025. When's it actually
pretty early?
I really don't know if we'll get gameplay this year. Honestly,
Hello. Okay.
Oh,
because hello, we can hear you. If you're gonna come out in 2025, like gameplay should be. I mean, half the time we get just CG trailers till like 2 months before launch.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know you guys kept
I
going.
bet you it could be the end of this year, though.
Oh no, you're good. You're totally fine. We just talked about NCAA, so I don't think you would have.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
It worked out.
It's a good
Can
thing
you
we
see me?
decided to do that.
You're loading
No.
in on my end right now.
Redo your camera.
But I think.
What about now?
There you go. Yeah, you're good.
Yes.
Connor,
I
can
think-
you?
Yeah, I can see you. You're good. We're talking about GTA 6 real quick, Tanner. We're guessing when we think it'll actually come out, and if you think we'll get gameplay sometime this year. And I'm guessing. I think it's coming out spring 2025. I'm guessing around March or April, something like that. And I'm guessing that we get gameplay this summer. Not part of Summer Game Fest, not anything like that, but I think we get sometime this summer our first look at gameplay. And then they'll have
GTA 6,
Four-
didn't they?
4-minute gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
That's all you
How
get.
they announced that it's already. I thought they already said it was 2026.
2025, yeah. They already announced, yeah.
Oh, 2025. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just trying to nail down more a specific
Right.
window. And if do you think they show it off this year
When
anymore in
did-
2024?
when
to
did
get,
4 come out?
gameplay or anything?
I bet it doesn't even come out in 2025. I bet that's
Wow.
just their hope. There's no way.
Wow.
It's so big. Games nowadays, a game launching on its release date is unheard of.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy.
There's
if
no
didn't
way
come
it comes
in
out in
Yeah, they
2025.
gotta do GTA
year.
6 in
I think it has to-
2026.
I think it has to be 2025. At this point, it's been
Yeah, they do.
12 years since GTA 5. It's got to be it's got to be next year. I don't think they would
11
have said
years.
2025 unless they were pretty confident about it.
I don't know. Like, name a game that has come out on its original release date
Yeah.
in the last 5
Call of
years.
Duty Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, Call of Duty
Yeah,
always
Call
comes
of
out.
Duty will always
Yeah,
come out. You can always
They
count on Call of
always.
Duty.
You got to give them credit. They
Madden,
always hit their
Madden
mark.
21, 22, 23,
Yeah.
and 24.
Assassin's Creed.
Go
back
all
longer
these
than
licenses,
that
they
if you
always
want.
do.
Yeah. Smash Bros. Ultimate, not really. That's what
That
it
wasn't
is.
even in the
It's-
last 5
but-
years, though.
No, yeah, but that did come out. They said the date, and it actually came out, which I'm shocked by. I thought for sure it was going to get delayed. I don't know. What about you, Parker? Do you think GTA 6 is shown off this year at all, or is it going to be late?
Yes. I bet you it'll be late this year, gameplay. And then it'll come out early next year. Maybe like mid
That's
next
good
year.
too.
I'm saying September 17th, 2025. Because
Wow.
that's GTA 5 came out on September 17th, 2013. So I'm just going exact
Yeah.
date.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be crazy. A whole 12 years later.
Exactly 12 years. That's crazy.
That would be nuts. I still remember when we got that game.
Which is 6 times 2, GTA 6.
So it's gonna launch on a Wednesday randomly in September.
Just a random.
Or they
Wednesday.
release it on New Year's Day, January 1st, 2026.
They should release it on
GTA 6.
June 6th,
2026.
2026 GTA 6.
That way you get all of those moms that are like,
There you go.
It's Satan's game.
It's the-
Yeah,
it's the
literally though,
mythology
because it's
thing.
like the
Yeah.
game. Yeah, that would be funny.
Tanner, let's go ahead and move on to one of your predictions.
All right.
Or
Don't you do it?
I'll do a couple because right before I left, I
Right.
heard Parker talking about one of them.
Minecraft end update.
In Minecraft, yeah, because
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have a big Minecraft update soon. The last couple have been really small. I think it gets announced at Minecraft Live, which happens I think in October. I think we'll see a big Minecraft update, which is cool.
I hope it's. I hope
It will
it's
be
the end
this year.
update,
It's gotta
but
be.
like
gotta be
Mason
the end
was
of
like,
it.
this is a good time for me to go to the bathroom.
Like time to leave.
Time to leave.
I mean, and then this one's good too. Since he's gone, Destiny 10-year event or whatever they do, because it's Destiny's 10-year anniversary this year. Which is crazy.
That is
Decade
crazy.
of Destiny already.
Actually,
I think they'll do something pretty big.
with
What?
that, I'm just gonna go and throw this in just because it's relevant to the conversation since you bring up Destiny.
Oh, do we think
just-
it's the end of Destiny?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. I have a question on here just regarding Destiny because, here's the thing. I'm not obviously I don't follow Destiny like you.
Yeah.
You're Mr. Destiny, so you know better than anyone. But from
Mr. Destiny.
from a peripheral perspective, somebody
Hello?
on the outside, I've just heard a lot of stuff about is this the end for Destiny? Not that at least Destiny 2, as we know. I'm not saying Destiny is a franchise, but like,
Yeah.
is Destiny 2 potentially gonna wrap this year and then they maybe move on to something else, or Destiny 3 or something like that? I don't know. Just wanted your input.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna get too crazy into it because it would warrant its own episode.
Yeah.
But as like a clip snippet that I can post or something. Look, Destiny 2 is not ending, according to Bungie, but they have done the worst job at making people think otherwise. Because they're literally calling the next expansion the final shape.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's the end of the Destiny saga. That's what they've been saying. Oh, it's the end of the first saga, the Light and Darkness saga. So literally, like, they've told basically everyone who's not a Destiny gamer that it's the end.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why there's no new players playing the game.
Parker just ascended.
Like that.
I accidentally bumped my flashlight on my phone.
Parker's just sitting there.
Sorry, what were you saying though?
Shout out to Bungie.
Yeah.
Shout out to
They wonder why they're not getting any new players. Mason's ascending.
We've lost
It's funny because
Cooper.
since we're so white, it like makes our mouths invisible.
Yeah, you look like you're
Oh
wearing
my.
like a mask, like a COVID mask. Sorry, everyone's ascending right now. I'll fill the dead air while everyone ascends. But
Well, on
Destiny 2
that
not
note-
ending.
Let's talk about Starfield. Just kidding.
Well, anyway, yeah, they wonder why there's no new players entering the game. That's like Destiny's biggest problem right now is they're not having any new players. Because who's gonna jump in at the end of a cycle? Like people jumping into GTA 5 for the first time right now. Like, yeah, I want to play GTA 5 right now for the first time. You know, it's pretty
I
unlikely.
mean, they still have
Not-
a year.
Like not
You're
that, yeah,
muted,
and it's a
Hasten.
little bit different of a story, but Mason's muted.
Jeez. Ugh.
We only missed a little.
Jason
bit.
was ascending silently. He's like,
Yeah, he's like. "Oh."
I was talking all about that. I made some good jokes.
Oh,
I filled the dead air.
dang.
Dang.
Cowabummer right there.
Oh well.
Kind of bummer.
Anyway, yeah, it's not the end of Destiny 2. At least that's what Bungie says. It sounds like they're gonna continue, but we'll see. The Destiny. I said it last podcast. The Destiny community sucks. and so they'll eventually kill the game from within. 100%.
Do we
They
get
will.
Destiny 3 at some point? Hey, you don't have to.
Tanner, you are the Destiny community. I feel like.
No,
true.
I'm not. I refuse to be a part of it because they're so bad. People talk about like toxic gaming communities all the time because like there's plenty of gaming communities that have toxic communities,
yeah.
but this one's
Lots.
different. It's like they want the game to fail. Really weird.
That is weird.
Like the Destiny YouTubers keep saying, they're like, there's a lot of players that are just gonna be done after the final shape. I'm like, ooh, why would you love the game that you're enjoying and then just be done after the next expansion? Like, yeah, I'm done. You know?
I think
So
it's
weird.
because they kind of went into that thing though, like calling it what you called it makes it
Right.
seem like, yeah, I'm gonna beat this, and I'm gonna 100% it, and I'm done.
I'm gonna beat
Yeah,
Destiny.
a lot of players are using it as like a way to escape. And that's another thing that's really popular in the Destiny community right now. People being like, I'm escaping the Destiny machine. It no longer has its grip on me. Like, mother effer, it's a video game. It's a video game. It's not that serious. You can
not
leave
that
it
deep,
and take
bro.
a break at any moment.
No,
It doesn't have a grip
is
on
li-
you,
It is that serious.
you know? Like, I love Destiny more than anyone, and it has a grip on me, but I like it. Grip
Yeah.
harder. Destiny,
make me.
you know?
Never mind.
What
Make
is
me
it?
coom. Destiny. Make me edge. I want Destiny to edge me all the time.
You want
I want them to
Bungie
constantly be
Uh,
edging me.
Destiny 3.
God, new expansion. Look, I don't care what anybody says, but like,
Okay.
this is something that's known about Destiny, right? Is Destiny is a fun game to play. And so that's what I enjoy about it. So
A
as
great
long as
gameplay.
it's still fun to play, I'll play it. People are like, oh, the game's horrible and bad content. I'm like, bro, if you don't want to play it, just don't play it. Anyway, yeah, I don't think it'll be the end, but as far as my prediction goes, there will be some big thing this year for the 10-year. It
There
got
should
to.
be. I mean,
10
for 10
years is
years,
a
you
big
gotta.
moment.
Yeah.
Is it 10 years
Yeah.
of Destiny or Destiny 2?
Destiny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Destiny 2. Destiny 2, I think, is only 7 years.
I'm hoping one of these expansions pulls me back in. Because actually, whenever I go back and play it, I love playing Destiny, but
Yeah.
I'm falling away. And
I mean, unfortunately, Destiny is a victim of the modern game developers' plight, which is don't give gamers too high of expectations. Did you guys ever see that thing that Bungie released during GCX?
what's GCX?
So there was like a it's like the gamers conference,
Oh,
the
game-
game
yeah, that makes
developers
sense.
conference. They revealed like this whole thing. So usually it's like developers going up and talking to other developers.
Yeah.
They revealed this whole thing talking about how to make your live service game successful. And it's like really controversial because in it they basically said, don't give your players what they want. Don't give them too much content because then they'll expect too much every time. Give them just a little bit. And it's like, so unfortunately, there probably won't be an expansion for a while that'll hook you back in until they realize they need to do another big, cool one. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, here's hoping Destiny has something big for its 10-year because it only makes sense. I'm
Yeah.
gonna jump into one of my high hopes for 2024, and this is the definition of a high hope. And I know this is major copium by me right now, but I am hoping for, and I think it's legitimately possible, something Smash Bros. Related in 2024.
Right.
Now here's
They just announced something
Here-
Smash
here's,
Bros.
here's
related.
the thing.
yeah.
Hear me out. Well, here, and this is why where there's smoke, there is fire. You know what I mean? As the saying goes.
Forest for the trees.
Yeah, I actually don't know if it's the opposite or where there's fire, there's smoke. Whatever. You guys.
I
know
think
what
you're
I'm
right.
saying.
Where there's smoke, where there's
Where
fire.
there's
Like,
smoke,
because if
there's
you see
fire.
smoke, there's going to be fire.
There's got to be a fire somewhere. Exactly. So, Smash Bros. For those that don't follow the Smash Bros. Community, they just announced
Shout out.
new spirits randomly coming to Smash Ultimate this month, and they've been dropping, and they're continuing it. It's going to be like, I think they said 5 drops of spirits. Now, this is super weird because for those of you that don't know, Smash Ultimate ended its content run about 2 years ago now when Sora came out. Sora was the final character. Sakurai and the team, everyone announced Ultimate's done. That'll be the final update. Nothing else. And so now, randomly, 2 years later, we just got some spirits out of nowhere. And to me, I know there's a lot of people, and it's hard to read Nintendo, and I can't get my hopes up too much because Nintendo is Nintendo. They do weird crap all the time, and they'd never make actual sense. But I can't help but feel that this is a situation where there's smoke, there's fire, and that they're trying to potentially hint at something here. And now my biggest
You think this might be a Mario Kart situation?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I think it will be too.
Nintendo loves to update old games. As we've learned with the Switch, for whatever reason, they love to just randomly update something years later with new content.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes no sense to most people and most companies. But to Nintendo, they just love to do it. And here's why it makes sense to Nintendo. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the highest selling Nintendo Switch game of all time, right? It's like at 50 million units sold or something like that now, which is absolutely crazy how much that game has sold. That's a game that came out technically 10 years ago, you know?
And it has 50 million.
Yeah, now it's at 50 million. And so this game continues to sell in large part because they decided to keep supporting it to this day randomly and drop new content for it years later. And people are still buying it because it's...
Well, look, that's why they constantly bundle it with the Switch.
Yep, they bundle
every
the Switch as well.
holiday bundle comes with the Mario Kart. And look, like I think you're onto something where why not release content for the game that has the most potential buyers?
Yep.
Because it's the most sold game.
And to add more to my my theories here, I feel like Charlie Day and It's Always Sunny, you know, with the board behind him with all the red lines, like the Pepe Sylvia.
Yeah.
But there was also this last holiday season, Nintendo did their first Super Smash Bros. Ultimate bundle with the OLED Switch. Now, notoriously, Mario Kart 8 is the only, not the only, but pretty much the only game they've bundled in with the Switch for the last like 5-6 years. Like just every Black Friday, they're like, here's the same old Switch with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You know, every year they do it. This last year, we got a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate OLED bundled in with the Switch, which is really weird that they just decided to randomly do that this last fall. Now, there's that with the spirits, and they love to update old games. I know I'm
spin foil hat.
Yeah, I'm wearing my tinfoil hat here, majorly. I think there's a chance. Now, I have multiple ideas of where this could go, what this could all mean. Pie in the sky, this isn't going to happen. New Smash Bros. Announced. I don't think it's going to happen. Not launching with, but coming with the Switch 2 sometime in 2025. Now, here's the thing.
Why do you think a whole new one, though?
A brand new... Well, this is why I have other theories as to what it's more likely to be. This is my...
Because there's no way there's a new one.
Well, no, here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. Hear me out.
New Smash?
Hear out my tinfoil theories.
Yeah, but it's Smash Ultimate.
I know this is
that's
how is there gonna be a new one?
It's the ultimate.
Smash Ultimate 2.
Smash Ultimate.
Listen to this.
Smash Ultimate
Super Smash
Deluxe.
Bros. Brawl launched in 2008. Smash Bros. Wii U 2014. 6 years later, right? Smash Bros. To Wii U
2020.
to Ultimate 2014 to 2018. 4 years that we waited between Wii U and Ultimate. It has now been 6 years since Ultimate came out in 2018, right? It's now 2024. So we are as far removed as Brawl was to Wii U in timeline-wise, which is crazy to think about, that it's been that long since Ultimate came out. Now, it doesn't feel like Ultimate's been out that long because they had DLC for 2-3 years after it came out, to where really Ultimate content ended about 2-3 years ago. So it hasn't felt as long. But technically, since the game came out, it's been 6 years. So I do think there is a legit possibility that there's a new Smash Bros.
Sakurai just said that he's still making games.
And
Remember, he had that whole Twitter thread.
Yeah, and Sakurai just announced that he's stopping doing his YouTube channel this year. So if for
Because
those that
he's
don't
busy.
know, this is what I'm talking
He's
about.
too busy.
It's a total tinfoil hat.
You're a busy
and I
guy.
know it's total copium. But Sakurai, for those that don't know, for the last few years has done YouTube. He decided to get into. He's doing YouTube creation. He straight up does YouTube content, and he makes videos.
What does he make?
All the time? He makes.
Yeah,
It's
what?
about game development. It's actually really cool and informative. He talks about like the game development process and how he, developed Smash, and a bunch of other stuff. But Sakurai announced he's done with YouTube as of this year. Another reason why it's like why, why? That it's weird. Like what's
Why?
making him stop? He has to be busy, like Kason said. That means he's doing something. So I think that
He's
Pie in
making
the
the
Sky. I
next
don't
Call
think
of Duty.
this. Pie in the Sky. He's working on Call of Duty Black Ops 5.
That'd be insane. He's like, I'm working for Activision.
Yeah,
She's
I'm
working
as
on
the
a game
creative
called
director.
Pie in the Sky.
No, Pie in the Sky is that there's a new Smash Bros. Announced. It's not going to happen. I'm not stupid. It's not going to happen. But
What's his first name?
Masahiro.
Sakurai.
Masahiro Sakurai. Yeah, Sakurai.
Sakurai. Like Mario.
Yeah, Mario. But my real theory is that we're getting something Smash Bros. Related. More than likely, my prediction
I think that's
that we
actually
get-
very likely.
is that we get
I'm not gonna lie.
Ultimate Deluxe launching with the Switch 2.
I could see that.
And I think that it's going to be just like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but it's Smash Bros. Ultimate, exact same game, launching Switch 2 with a couple new characters. I think we get.
I don't even know
just
if
a
they'll
couple
need
more
to
new
rebrand
content.
it as deluxe. I think they literally just do what they did with Mario Kart, and they're like, "Hey, during a Nintendo Direct, they're like, we're gonna Fighter Pass 3,
Yeah.
over the course of the next 6 months."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see
know?
the things I could most likely see. A Fighter Pass 3 announced. I legit could see that with the success this game has. By the way, just to add, Smash Bros. Ultimate is the third best-selling Switch game, only behind
Bruh,
Mario
come
Kart 8.
on, they gotta do something.
Only behind Mario Kart 8 and Animal Crossing. It's sold like 30-something million units, like an insane amount. So it's like it has a huge player base. A Fighter Pass 3 is totally realistic. It could happen. I don't know if it will, but more than likely, in my opinion, we get a deluxe version that launches with the Switch 2 or comes out around the Switch 2 time. And there's a
Yeah.
couple new characters, a couple new levels, stuff like that. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. I won't go on anymore with my conspiracies, but
I think you're right about the getting content. I don't think games do that to their games just for the shits and giggles. Like, oh, here's a new Spirit. 'Cause game development takes a lot of time and a lot of money.
yeah.
And it's like for
That's a
them
good
to
point.
come into the office and
Yep.
pull out the Super Smash Bros. Source code and
Yeah.
all right, let's add a new PNG.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah.
they're not gonna do that. They're working on something along with it. They just throw it in some of the stuff that they had in the back burner.
Yep.
While they're working on the new stuff. I mean,
It's an excellent point.
every time this happens with a game, there's new content. I mean, Borderlands 2 got a balance update back in like 2018, and then they shortly announced that DLC. Remember, there was a DLC that came out
Yeah, that's right.
years later.
Uh-huh.
And
cool.
so I could definitely see them doing that with Smash Bros. Because Smash Bros. Isn't even that old. It just
Mm.
barely stopped its content, 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
That's not even that long ago. It's still fresh in people's minds. It still regularly sells well. They should make new content.
You just actually blew my mind with even more points there because it's like
Hmm.
you don't bring in people back to the office to, like you said, just here's some new
Yeah.
PNGs.
Like, no.
you're bringing back in
That's
your,
game development money
your
gone.
workforce. Yeah, you're bringing back your workforce because I guarantee. Well, I can't guarantee anything. It's Nintendo, but more than likely they're starting development on something new, whether that be Smash Ultimate Deluxe, whether that be a brand new Smash Bros in general that's not going to come out for 5 years, whatever it is, they're starting development on something new to where they're bringing in their workforce and going, hey, just to get back in the swing of things, let's add some new spirits to Ultimate. Let's get back in
throw
the
some of that
groove.
stuff out.
Let's get this game pumping again. It's getting
Mhm.
people reacquainted or antiquated, or what am I saying?
Reacclimated.
Reacclimated. Thank you. Reacclimated to Smash and that world and stuff like that. I think that's a great point. I think that adds to my my conspiracies a lot. But anyway, I won't bore you guys anymore with my Smash talk. Let's move on. Who else has a prediction?
I have a bunch, but if anybody else has some.
Go for it, Darren.
I don't have any more.
Parker?
No.
Okay. I already said the Switch 2. I already said Metroid Prime. Oh, Fallout 3 remaster. I think is gonna be announced. It kind of already got leaked with that Xbox thing that happened with the Activision. Remember
Yeah.
when the lawsuit happened?
Heard about that, yeah.
I mean, it's not really too bold of a prediction. I think that's kind of a shoe-in. But I think it'll get announced coinciding with Fallout 4's next gen upgrade, which they've been teasing for a really long time.
They're
They
gonna
did
have
it
a
with.
next-gen
Wow.
update? I
Yeah,
didn't
they've
even
already
know
been
that.
teasing it. I mean, it's not going to be like a relaunch. It's just like
Yeah,
you know,
like
higher
a
fidelity.
patch, yeah, 60
And then they
frames,
add
probably.
like the more mod support. They do like more creation club stuff. They kind of did it with Skyrim. And I also think that they'll announce that it's coming to the Switch because I can't believe Fallout 4 is still not on the Switch. So I can see them being like, "Oh, it's coming to the Switch also." I'll go ahead and say a couple other ones because I have a bunch. I'll say one of my high hopes ones, which is Skylanders Collection remaster.
That'd be awesome.
Now that
That would
Xbox
be
owns them,
awesome.
these Xbox,
How would
because
they do that?
something happened. Phil Spencer said it in an interview. Something about Skyland. No, it wasn't Phil Spencer. It was Bob. What's his bucket?
Oh,
Bob Iger?
Kotick. Bobby Kotick.
Yeah,
Bobby
Bob Iger
Kotick?
randomly. Bob Iger was
Bob
like,
Iger's like,
"Yeah,
I am a
Skylanders."
huge Skylanders fan.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
for
Bobby
no
Kotick.
reason.
He was like saying that he wanted to see Skylanders, something like that.
Mm. Yeah,
So I was like,
remember hearing
hey.
something like that. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. And look, even if they
Skylanders
don't
Ultimate.
do, that'd be sick.
Come
Like
on.
all of the old games, because the old games are so small. They're
Yeah.
so small. They can easily put them all in a collection.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll relaunch the figures. I mean, I think if they do, it'll be more of like a
No,
soft
no way.
launch. It'll be like
Yeah.
10 or so figures, but they're not gonna do like the 50 something. They're gonna do like
Yeah.
10 specialty figures, and they're like a little more expensive, $20-$30. But
Now's the perfect
that.
time to cash in on that nostalgia.
They're gonna be like
For-
Skylanders legacy figures.
Oh,
I'd be
yeah,
sick.
that'd be
And they're
wicked.
like super powerful. They're already level 20, have like 50,000 coins or something crazy, you know.
Think about it though. I mean,
Kinda
you're
like
right
the
at
Eon's
that
Elite that they did.
perfect time where it's like you have people like you guys, like Tanner and Parker, who are
Yep.
now getting into adulthood. It's like
Well-
perfect time for nostalgia to kick in for Skylanders stuff, to relaunch it, to bring it back. And like Parker was saying, it doesn't have to be all the figures and stuff again. It can be like legacy packs or very specific collector's items.
Well, and imagine they just came out in 2016. That's crazy. So 8 years ago.
What?
So
Wow.
it's
That's
almost
crazy.
been a decade since the last
That
Skylanders
is-
game.
That's crazy. Wow.
And I don't know, like Toys for Bob, I follow them on Twitter still. They still regularly tweet about Skylanders.
Well, they're busy making Call of Duty.
Call of
I know.
Duty.
I can tell they hate it though. Oh my gosh, they hate it.
Xbox has got to pull them off of that now.
They
Now
will.
that the deal's gone.
If
through,
I'm
come
honest,
on,
I bet Xbox is gonna pull everyone off of Call of Duty besides
please. Besides
Sledgehammer.
the three.
Yeah, the three. Because we don't need
And
Raven.
I want all three of them to be working on one game.
Yeah.
I could see that. That'd be
Take
awesome.
the time. Take the time with it too.
Yeah.
I want just Treyarch. That's it.
I mean, literally, they're using so many good studios to make
That's
Call of Duty.
Sledgehammer.
I don't get it.
Shout out to Sledgehammer.
No, don't shout out Sledgehammer.
Shout out
You guys make the
Treyarch.
worst Call of Duty games.
Well, shout out to them for making the worst.
Shout out to making the worst. Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got.
Shout out to Treyarch for making the best
They can't-
zombies experience.
Yeah, and the best Call of Duties. Let's be
They
real.
can't all be black.
Yeah,
Ops, right?
for sure.
Somebody's
Because
gotta
if
be
it
true.
a
wasn't
one.
Sledgehammer's games, it would be Infinity War.
Yeah, or it would be less development time for Treyarch or whatever, and then
Yep. Because then they'd have to pump out one every other year instead of every
Yeah.
2 years. Yeah.
I mean they're all screwed basically at this point anyway. But yeah,
True. Treyarch's working on every single Call of Duty at this
yeah,
point.
doing zombies for all of them, even if they don't
Yeah.
actually make the game. They're like, please do zombies for us, please, Treyarch.
Please, we have a huge DLC coming out
make
this year.
good
and we need
zombies.
zombies for it.
They're not asking; they're telling.
I have another high hope, a prediction. I'm just gonna throw out there. I don't think this is it's not even a prediction. It's more just a high hope. I don't think this is actually gonna happen. But Evil Within 3, shout out. I'm wearing my Evil Within shirt. You can
That would
see
be
it.
awesome.
Oh, there it is.
Hey.
But, Tango Gameworks is
Evil
at the
Within
height
books in the
of
back.
their studio name right now with Hi-Fi Rush. Like they've never had this much acclaim and this much notoriety. I think they're obviously working on something else because they kind of had two development teams going on. One was developing Hi-Fi Rush, while the Ghostwire Tokyo team, was moving on to something else. So I think it's likely that we get an announcement for whatever they're working on next. I don't think it's coming out anytime soon, but Hi-Fi Rush came out January of last year, and that was a smaller team and it was a smaller game. Launched like on Game Pass right away, and I think it only cost like $30. So clearly a smaller game. Not that it wasn't any less, because that was still a great game, but I think they're clearly working on something else. My hope is that it's Evil Within 3, and we see it in 2025, maybe fall 2025. But I don't think it's likely. Evil Within is kind of a cult classic. It's not like a huge gangbuster. It didn't sell a ton of copies. But
Yeah.
I would just love if we got Evil Within 3. And even if it's a conclusion, even if they announce this is it, this is the final one, we're going to wrap up a trilogy, I'm good
It'd be
with
good
that.
to do it on 3.
Yeah, it'd be perfect. And that would make me very, very happy, especially if it got announced, around this fall.
Very, very happy boy.
Very, very happy. Very, very
So happy.
I would be so happy. And I kind of hope that
Ooh,
they
Lena?
go a slightly open world route. I think they lean into the 2 route a little more, because 2, for
I
those
could see
that
that.
don't know, is semi-open.
I
And I
haven't
think if they
played
get
it
into
yet.
that more would be awesome.
Me too.
2 is amazing. It's super underrated.
You have Evil
Yes.
Within books in your room and you haven't played the sequel.
Oh, Parker. Oh, yeah.
I
was like,
just beat the first one
Yeah, just like 5 years ago.
like a couple months ago. I've
You've
so many
had that
games
Evil
to play.
Within
Shut up.
book for years.
No, I haven't. What?
Yeah,
I
you
literally
have.
got that for my last birthday.
No, you played Evil Within years ago.
Which was exactly when. When exactly was your birthday?
Yeah, when?
Month, day, year.
Okay.
Where's your
6 months ago.
address? What's your address?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What's your
Yeah.
blood type?
All right. Tanner, do you want to hit us another prediction?
Yeah, I'll throw out a quick one because I didn't mention it when we were talking about Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Call of Duty / Activision games coming out throughout
On Game
2024.
Pass.
But Call of Duty, I
forgot
said,
about
and
that.
Yes.
I'm always right. It's quarter 3.
No.
It's not gonna be till the end of the year for Call of Duty at least.
I'm surprised we haven't gotten anything yet.
I'm shocked. Too.
Didn't I say that though?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have to say it because I said this months ago. I'm like, Call of Duty won't come, and you guys are like, no, it's coming out end of 2023, beginning of 20. No, they're not gonna release
You're
Call
right.
of Duty.
It's still
until-
beginning 2024. Hold on.
I
It's
know,
it is
but
still
there's
early.
no
There's
chance.
still a chance, but I will say your prediction definitely looks right as of right now.
And look, here's why, right? I can see them coming out with a couple of the older Call of Duties over the next couple months, sure. But the newer ones, it will be end of the year when the new one comes out. And like I said, I don't think the newest Call of Duty will come to Game Pass until it's been a year. I think there's some
still
deal with
disagree with that,
Activision.
but
Here's why though. There's so much turmoil and legal stuff with Activision and PlayStation and all that. I can just see them. That's the deal they struck is it can't come to Game Pass for a year. The newest
Yeah.
Call of Duty. You know.
that would be crazy. I mean, that would be a big blow to Microsoft, just because they
I mean, I don't know. Like, if they release the oldest, like the one right before it, like if MW3 comes out in October, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, but that would suck. Imagine it's like Black Ops.
I don't want the
Gulf
DLC
coming out
to Modern Warfare
November,
2,
and then-
Tanner. I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
want
yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah, they don't release DLC on Game Pass.
Yeah, I think that's I gotta give you props on guessing that last year. Tanner definitely called that, but there's still time.
Believe
There is
me.
still time. It could happen. We'll see. I still do think that
Tomorrow we're gonna wake up to a tweet. It's like
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna
All of them
happen.
dropping.
you know.
Activision,
Everybody's
the
on
entire
Game Pass
library.
starting
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
tomorrow, all Call
Tomorrow.
of Duties, including the next Call of Duty, which isn't even out.
Yeah. Gulf
Right
War
now.
though, I do think will launch on Game Pass when it comes out this year. I do think.
Oh,
I'm not too
Gulf War,
confident in that
baby.
one, so I think you could be right. I'm not too confident that it won't, but that's just my guess. I have a feeling.
Yeah, it's
We'll see.
possible. I mean, honestly, at this rate, I wouldn't be shocked if that didn't happen. But
I guess I kind of look at it as like Assassin's Creed. I know that Microsoft doesn't own Ubisoft, but Assassin's Creed Valhalla just barely launched on Game Pass conveniently right after Mirage launched. You know, Mirage isn't on Game Pass yet, but it will probably launch.
I think it'll be a
sometime
little
this year.
different just because Xbox owns Activision now.
Right.
But
Sure.
But who knows? I mean, who knows how they're planning on running that company? I mean, it's a big purchase, so it could.
Well,
take
and we don't know
years
how
to-
detailed the intricacies of them owning
the deal-
Activision
well,
actually
the deal
are.
with PlayStation, like you said, could throw a wrench in it.
Well, it's
whatever
like,
they
oh,
choose to
Disney
do.
owns Marvel. But to what extent, you know? Oh, they don't own the comic rights, and they don't own the movie rights, and the video game rights.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of legality stuff that, for all we know, it could take years for certain things to come out.
Yeah.
Parker looks so weird right now. I'm gonna throw out my next prediction, which I think is basically my last one, but I think that Shadows of the Erdtree, the new Elden Ring DLC, is going to come out in March. Actually, it could be end of February. I think it's coming out soon. I think it's like literally the next couple months, and I think it's gonna kind of be like a stealth drop. Maybe not, day of, but like a couple weeks. There'll be a trailer, and then it's like coming out in a couple weeks. Because Elden Ring launched, I think, very end of February in 2022. So it'll be exactly 2 years. I can't do this with you guys.
Sorry.
So
it'll
you're
be the
thinking like
2-year
an anniversary drop?
Yeah.
It'll be
I think
exactly 2 years since
I think
Elden
it'll
Ring.
launch like
Dang.
exactly around the 2-year release date.
It's
I
been
hope
2
so,
years since
'cause-
Elden Ring came out.
After
sense.
the Game Awards
Wait,
didn't have
so
anything,
when did it
I
come
was
out?
like really worried about it.
Me too.
Oh
And
my
I think it's
gosh.
because they
Somebody
wanna
just
save it
screamed.
for their own thing. But
I heard a scream in the background.
I also think, along with that prediction, I think
I just
it's
know.
gonna be its own thing. I don't think it's gonna be DLC really anymore. I think it's gonna be like a standalone release. So kind of like
There wasn't actually a scream, Mason. It was your chair, or somebody's
He's
chair.
like-
went,
I was wondering what it was
Wait,
because I didn't have my headset on.
Did I miss something?
yeah, I feel bad. I don't want to worry you. You're like, what's somebody
Some
screaming?
screams, oh,
Well, my
breaking
dad just got
relationships.
home, so I was like, maybe he's screaming.
That would be horrible.
No, it was your chair.
He
for
said,
sure.
"Get up here."
It sounded like a chair.
But yeah, anyway, I think Shadows of the Erdtree is going to be its own standalone thing. I don't think it'll be DLC anymore. Probably like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be like. I don't know. Do you have to have Cyberpunk to play Phantom Liberty?
Yeah.
Yes.
You do? Okay, that's a bad example then. I think it's going to be its own standalone thing.
I
though.
know what you
don't think
mean,
it's-
though. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like you have to beat Elden Ring or play through Elden Ring to access the DLC. I think it's going to be.
do you
like
think
its
it'll
own
be
standalone
in the game though?
Yeah, it probably will be, but it's going to be, in my opinion, I'm thinking it's going to be like its own accessible
Right.
mode almost, like where you can go into a completely separate, like almost like
Like-
launched through the main menu of Elden Ring.
Like the last laugh, is that what it's called? The DLC on Arkham City,
Oh,
where you
Harlequin's
literally
Revenge?
play as Robin. And it's completely separate. You don't have any like your upgrade. It's like a completely almost
Yeah,
separate
it's like its own
thing.
mode thing. Yeah, yeah, I think it'll.
I
Be
can see
something
them
like
doing that.
just because it's been so long at this point. I don't think they would want to, cut off some of their player base because they're like, oh, you have to have beaten the game or be this far into the campaign or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
anyway,
I
should-
hope we get that.
you should bring that
so
over.
excited.
me too. Yeah,
You
you
should
need
bring that
to-
over next time you come over,
Yeah, I
and
will
I'll beat it.
for sure.
It's gonna take you a long time. The game is freaking huge.
It's freaking massive. Tanner, did you?
Excited.
uh,
I
I'm
need
not
a
even.
game like
I'm
that.
not even close. Well, I mean,
I
I,
want a
beat the
game like
game,
that.
but
You've
like,
beaten it,
there's
yeah.
so much to do.
I was so close to freaking platinuming it, pretty much.
I haven't.
Tanner will
so
beat it in
close.
You
3
have to
days.
beat it. You have to beat the campaign like 3 times or 4 times, but there you can technically cheat it, so you can like save your progress and then relaunch into the game back where you were and just get the achievement. Like you could cheat it. and do
Hey,
the
that's
opposite
cheap.
endings, but I didn't do it. I thought about doing it, but I was like, I'm gonna play Elden Ring again at some point, and I want to earn it
Eventually.
legitimately, like
Yeah.
because that'll give me more motivation to play it again anyway.
True.
So I didn't do it. So I'm technically missing like 2-3 achievements, and they're all ending based. But anyway, Tanner, what about you? You got any last predictions?
Call of Duty. I should have said this when we were talking about Call of Duty. Black Ops Gulf War, and I think that will be the name. Already been kind of leaked because of like all the Activision Linkins. I think it'll get an announcement in spring, which is usually when Call of Duty tends to announce their new game.
Except for
they don't
MW3
usually.
last year. But yeah, normally.
Yeah, because that wasn't supposed to be real. It wasn't supposed to.
They announced
exist.
that like literally September or something like that.
When they finally were like,
dumb, dude.
please make DLC. We gotta have a game. We can't do it. I think it'll be announced along a remaster.
Oh, alongside a remaster of Black Ops 2.
Oh,
Holy crap!
Right.
Don't
That
get
would-
up.
Hasten,
I've heard a lot of
hasten, hasten.
rumors of that.
Relax.
Sorry.
That happening.
Calm down.
So we'll see.
It's okay.
Yeah, I heard about those rumors too. I would love that. I mean, that would be amazing if that actually
I
happened.
mean, Call of Duty is no stranger to remastering their old games, so
yeah,
we'll see.
I would
it would
be in
be the
literal
biggest
heaven.
That would be
travesty
awesome.
though if they remastered
But-
it like MW2 was it, where it was just like
Just the campaign.
Just the campaign, no multiplayer.
That would
So
suck.
they're
If
not
it was
going to
just the
do
Black Ops 2
1,
campaign.
though?
Yeah,
They're not going to remaster Black Ops 1.
I mean, they did
They're
that
just going to
with
jump straight to 2.
Modern Warfare, didn't they? And they start with Modern Warfare 2.
No, they
started
remade
with
Modern
one.
Warfare.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 1.
But they
That's
did
what Warzone
skip
was
like World at War and Call of Duty. Like,
I mean, there hasn't been any rumors of a Black Ops 1 remaster. That's the only reason I wouldn't think that.
I don't think. I mean, I know people love Black Ops, obviously the first one, but I think Black Ops 2 has more.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
like,
for sure it
nostalgia
does,
to
but it's more of the idea. Doing Black Ops 1, then 2.
But I also
then
think
3.
it's
You know?
literally the perfect time to do Black
I wish
Ops
they would
2.
just make Black Ops 2 again. In a new
Yeah,
engine.
no new Call of Duty, just Black
Yeah.
Ops 2.
Legit.
I would love.
really
I'm-
say
I'm
that.
not gonna lie. I would like that too.
I would like that too, yeah.
If they did a complete remake of Black Ops 2 with better graphics, FOV slider. Oh my gosh!
That would be friggin' sick.
And we
That
get that as the
FOV,
life cycle for a whole year. Oh, that'd be so sick.
Oh my gosh.
They slowly add maps from every Call of Duty into it.
That'd be awesome.
We'd be playing
the
that
best
every night,
maps.
bro.
We literally would.
Double XP weekend.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The old days have the bacon skin.
And everyone's back on. There's no like hackers.
Bacon skin.
Yeah,
Yeah, no hackers.
that'd be amazing.
Uh,
Yeah. Do you got any more?
Yeah, that was it for Call of Duty. Starfield DLC announcement in spring. I think it'll coincide with an Xbox showcase in spring. Like a mini showcase. I think they'll do a mini showcase where they announce Fallout 3 remaster, Fallout 4 next gen, Starfield DLC. It might even be a Bethesda. Because kind of like the thing they did just barely, the developer.
The indie developer showcase.
Yeah. Did you guys watch that? It was actually
Not
pretty
indie
cool with
developer.
Avowed.
Elder
yeah,
Scrolls
yeah, I
6.
did. Yeah, it was awesome.
The Avowed one was sick. I actually we'll get to that anticipated
Yeah.
games, but
You thought it was good?
oh yeah.
Oh.
It's my type. I mean, look, I'm really into the what's it called, deep fantasy, high fantasy.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Because there's like the dark fantasy, which is more like Skyrim, Dark Souls.
Yeah.
You know, but then high fantasy is like the Dungeons and Dragons,
Yeah, more
very
colorful and yeah.
Yeah, I'm super hyped for it. I think it looks awesome. And
More
we didn't
lighthearted
get to see
fantasy.
too much, but
Yeah, we didn't see much, but from what I saw, it just I don't know, it's just something about the gameplay. I didn't like
Really?
it. Just from what I saw. Same thing with Indiana Jones, honestly. The gameplay I saw from Indiana Jones, or like what I saw from that, I was like, eh.
I mean, I can understand
I'll get to that later on my
the
opinion on
look not being into the look of Avowed, but I feel like gameplay wise it looked awesome. It looked so seamless. The thing how they said you can go from casting spells to instantly pulling out a sword, how they said it's like super seamless, just like by pressing a button instead of having to like go into your menu and switch to a sword. And
Yeah, but
You know?
part of like those games is the menu, right? Like you think about like Skyrim, like going into your menu is awesome. You
sure,
know?
but
So-
I think
Yeah.
if they can whittle that down, I'm fine with that too. Like if Skyrim had a feature where I could instantly equip a spell, I'd love that.
yeah,
I
don't know.
yeah, I do agree. I do love the menu system too, but
because it was like top games for me this year, and then I literally watched that, and it dropped so far down for me.
Big.
So
I think,
Luckily, Game Pass, so you can always just try.
Yeah,
it.
I can
And
try
then if you
it,
don't like
so.
it, Yeah.
And I definitely will
So
try it.
Game Pass is so good because of that reason.
Yeah, it's nice.
'Cause I don't have to sink $70 into a game that might suck.
Yeah, I'll save a couple of my thoughts on that Xbox Developer Showcase for a little later because I have some stuff that'll be relevant to it. But I will say about Avowed, I think the trailer from the showcase wasn't the best. I don't think it was the best showing for that game, but I think Avowed is going to turn out great. I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
mean, I think that's
if...
why.
Go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say real fast. I was just going to say I think I would not be surprised if Avowed by the end of the year. This is kind of a hot guess, I guess, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's nominated for Game of the Year by the end of the year.
I could see that.
Just because 2024
sure.
is such a smaller year anyway.
Well, and especially with, this sounds weird, but the success of Baldur's Gate and that type of fantasy game, it's kind of fresh on people's minds. They might see a game like Avowed and be like, ooh.
Well, and people
that's how I can play Baldur's Gate 3 without being a nerd.
Yeah, what was that?
You know?
Outer Worlds? Was that their other game that they did recently?
Yeah.
Yeah. People loved that, so I don't know.
And I think they're kind of like, look, Outer Worlds was a more colorful, saturated version of Fallout.
Yeah.
It seems like Avowed is that with Elder Scrolls.
Exactly,
You know?
yeah.
And if I'm honest, Outer Worlds was really good. So I'm excited.
It was a good game. I never really
Yeah.
beat it, but it was a good game.
I mean, even just like, once again, the gameplay. Obsidian knocks it out of the park with their gameplay.
I was gonna say
love
that.
their.
Obsidian's one of those, like, and this isn't a fair comparison just because they're very different studios, but like how Insomniac is for PlayStation, where they release so much that's good. Obsidian's very similar for Xbox because it's like they did Pentiment.
They haven't really
which got
failed.
like insanely good reviews too. It was a smaller game, but then Outer Worlds did really well as well.
Yeah,
and
you
then,
look at their slate. You got like New Vegas, which is a lot of people's favorite Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have Grounded, which I loved, which ended up
people
being
like
pretty
Grounded,
successful.
Mm-hmm.
Pentiment, 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
you know. Outer
So
Worlds,
they're
all those
very
games.
and they're very consistent. They just seem like they kind of consistently release stuff that's pretty well acclaimed. You know, not always necessarily.
But I guess since we're already talking
Game of
about
the Year
it,
winner, but-
Avowed is my number one most anticipated for me right
nice.
now. I don't have too many other things that I'm looking forward to as far as games.
Yeah, 2024
This year's
is
kind of gonna be weird, but
It is. It's going to be an off year for sure.
Yeah.
After
It's
2023,
gonna be weird, but I actually made a list and I was looking at it and I'm like, wow, there is some games this year. Like there is some stuff.
yeah, we'll get to that here in just a sec. But Tanner,
Maybe in
did
a
you have any
different
last
episode.
predictions?
no, like I said, just the Starfield DLC and stuff in the Xbox showcase in spring. I'll say my last couple high hopes ones just because they're quick.
Yeah,
Maybe Elder Scrolls 6 news. Obviously, it's a high hope.
we talked.
We'll
about that a
see. I
little
mean, look, Starfield
earlier.
came out, which was the last barrier to Elder Scrolls 6. They've always said that. We'll do Elder Scrolls 6 after Starfield. So now they can do that. Please. Luigi's Mansion 4,
Let's go.
maybe. I don't know.
I would love that.
That'd be sick.
I think it's.
I don't think it'll happen, but
I think it is time
Already?
for a reveal.
Didn't it just come out? When did
No,
3
it's
come out?
3 came out in
2019.
2019. Dang.
Yeah,
Time's
it's been,
flying.
What?
5 years?
Dude.
5 years
It's
ago.
Crazy. Yeah, it's one of those things where you think about the year. It's funny. Time is just. I think COVID messed up things time wise
It
as
did.
well. But it's
We
like
got sent forward 5
Yeah.
years.
yeah, for real. Because it's like if you were to ask
Literally.
me on, I'd be like, yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3 that came out just a couple years ago. But it's straight
Like
up in 5
2 years ago, maybe.
you know, it's
It's
like
insane.
What?
it's been forever. So it's time for Luigi's Mansion.
I literally get
4.
surprised about every single one.
And especially
Usually.
with the Luigi's Mansion 2 coming to Switch.
Yeah, it kind of seems
It's
like
kind of like
they're-
on their mind.
Yeah, they're trying to get
know?
people into the series more, I think, by
Yeah.
releasing 2. That way, all of the except for the first one, which I wouldn't be surprised if they bring to Switch as well. But then
I think they
get
will.
the entire series on Switch and then release 4 2025.
Well, and look,
Could see that.
Luigi's Mansion is one of those series. It's kind of like the Kirby games where literally it gets announced and it comes out too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where like they're like, "Oh, there's a new Kirby game and it's out."
Yeah.
I think it's because they're usually smaller in scale. They're not on the level of like a 3D Mario game or a Zelda game. You know, they're pretty confined. I could see it literally just coming out randomly, them announcing it one direct, and then it's out the same year. So maybe this year, but I doubt it. More like next year. But
I doubt this year only because of the Switch 2 stuff.
Yeah.
But I think I would not be surprised October next year, like 2025.
well, and I don't think this year because there's already Luigi's Mansion 2 coming out. And I
Yeah.
don't see them doing 2 of them in the same year.
Yeah, that makes
Maybe, but yeah.
That's a good point.
And then my last one, which I'll just say real quick, is
Oh yeah,
a new Lego game. There's
got
been
it.
one that's been rumored for a while because they
Well,
haven't
it's-
done something since Skywalker Saga, which was
and that was like 2 years ago now, right?
I think even more than that.
Which is crazy. Once again, like time is just a
See.
flat circle, man. I tell you what, because yeah, Skywalker Saga has already been a couple years, which is wild.
Yeah,
Pretty sure it's
Skywalker Saga
2022, right?
2022. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2 years. Like Lego usually doesn't do that. I feel like they usually are be consistent.
There used
so.
to be 2 Lego games every year. Basically.
Yeah, seriously.
So
I could see them doing a Lego Harry Potter, which is the one that's the most rumored, like
I would
a
love
Lego
that.
Harry Potter collection, which would be sick. Or
Do it
Lego
Skywalker
Indie, which people
Saga
think they might
style.
do.
that'd be awesome.
I think the next one will be another saga, like another big one, and that's why it's taking so long. So
You skipped
Anyway.
one.
I said Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, he
Did
said-
you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I said
yeah.
now that Starfield, you
You're
were listening.
listening.
I said now
Well-
that Starfield's done, which was their barrier. They always said that. Todd Howard used to always say, like, once Starfield's done, we'll do Elder Scrolls 6. It's done now.
Oh. But it's too
Get
soon.
going.
I think it's too soon.
It is too soon.
Like-
And the reason why is because they said that there's DLC coming out for Starfield. They've already said that it has a full collection of DLC. So it'll be
It's
after
too
all the
soon.
DLC.
So
It's
sad.
too soon for Elder Scrolls 6. Is that what you
This
said?
this whole life cycle of
Wow.
Elder Scrolls 6 is making me hate Starfield more and more.
It's
every
true.
single time I think about it.
My
Oh my
prediction
God.
regarding Elder Scrolls 6 is that Todd Howard and the team won't say a word about it until it is 6 months from launch.
Year. Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that.
Like
So
a
we're not
year-
getting any news
year
until
max.
2027.
29.
Yeah, I think that they want to wait at this point because they know
Yeah,
they've
it'll be
hurt
2030.
fans so much by making them wait so long that they're going to be like, the next time we talk about it, we're going to surprise people by being like, it's coming out this year. You know?
Yeah.
But I think that's a couple years away at least.